So weird.
We're recording.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Supercoach Insider. My name is Ben.
And I'm Chris.
And I'm Swim.
Yeah!
And thank you for joining us for the yearly review special. Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to those on Twitch on the line. We had a little bit of a pre-talk shit session and having some drinks before the pod. So shout out to Mr. Tenacious, Binger as well. Binger's been hanging out all year. Binger has been hitting us up saying, when are you getting on Twitch? When are you getting on Twitch? And Binger, mate, here, this is for you. Oh, mate, this is a boy. It just got a little bit on my face.
Delicious. That was beautiful. That's
Cheers to you, my man.
Cheers, mate. Cheers.
Oral anal toda junta. Swizz, cheers to you.
Cheers to you, Swizz.
Cheers, boys.
Yeah, so Swizz is probably sitting in a train right now, just chilling back, driving, completely smashed out of his brain.
No, he's not on a train, but he is definitely getting railed, if you know what I mean.
Well done, sir. I think you drunk more often. I forget drunk Ben. He's so much fun. So much room for activities when Ben's around. So much room for activities.
Great. Lord help us. Chris just had a 2.2. Chris, you want to show them a double red IPA?
No, this shit's legit. Let's go.
Double red IPA.
Is that stuff? Yeah, there we go. Mountain culture. Get in there. It was glare.
It reminds me of the internship, how they're on the camera and they're like,
yes, they're trying to get in.
hello, yes, can you hear us?
We're on a blender, now we're saving lives?
Can you hear us? Can you hear us? No trains for Swizz tomorrow. He's obviously drinking responsibly. Shout out to all of those locked down. We thought tonight would be a good night. Number one, because I had a very wet August, so I did wet July, so I did dry August. So I've started drinking again, which is partly for this. And again, it's the weekend off. Yeah. Some people are hanging out. They're missing football. Some fuckwits like Tenacious like to watch Dogs vs. Lions replays while you're listening to us. And respect to you. But look, that's what's happening. Chris, our schedule for today. So I think we're looking at, obviously, people want to know who we predict for the Brownlow. If you're into that kind of thing. Finals prediction could have been the Lions. And obviously how we finished the Supercoach season, those trades that we did that went well, the burn factor, and there's some big burn factors, which will be nice and fun to talk about.
Yes, it will be.
Chris is getting already rolled up there. Mm-hmm. Chris would like a bet update for some stupid reason.
I would love all the bet updates, actually. That'd be great.
I don't like it because
Chris... call Corey and see what he's doing.
Tenacious. Tenacious is online putting up the blue, the red, and the white colours.
I respect him more, even now.
Remind me, I've got a big...
Enjoy the week, mate. I tell you what, grand final week.
It's a 2 week. It's a great...
Grand final fortnight is a great fortnight. It's honestly... and unfortunately, I really feel shit for people in Melbourne right now, because I remember 2018, as shit as it was that we lost the granny, that week leading up, I flew down to Melbourne. I went to grand final parade. The city was just buzzing the whole week. Like it's nothing quite like grand final week, and it's not like that now. So I just really feel shit for everyone.
Last year I went to the AFL Grand Final because it was in Queensland, and I was very excited. Obviously the Lions didn't make it, but still, I'm sure there's a lot of West Coastians.
I mean, we were all getting into
the Western Australia. I shouldn't say West Coastians. Western Australia.
What's the Giants theme song thing? The big sound.
Yeah,
we were all getting into that.
Yeah. So
until quarter time, and then the big sound went woo.
There's a big sound and a massive letdown. It's the team called the Mighty Giants.
Yes. Injured all the way through the season because they're the Giants.
Yes. So, and also we're going to round off with some people to look for next year, so possible breakout contenders and that kind of thing. So that kind of sums it up. Let's start off with the Brownlow boys. So Brownlow and grand final predictions. Swizz, who have you got for the double, my man? Who's going to win the final? Who's going to take home the Brownlow?
To win the grand final, I'm going to go the Doggies. All my Melbourne mates out there are about to kill me. But I'm going the Doggies just because I want it to keep the Dogs can join Richmond, Brisbane, Hawthorn, Geelong, Sydney and West Coast as a little dominance of this century. We don't want any new teams joining us, taking those premierships off us.
I like your theory, but also I respect Tenacious in the chat as well. I personally am going Melbourne.
I'm going Melbourne. Their form is too hard to ignore.
I don't think it's form because I don't think form matters on grand final day because I think both teams rock up and they play, especially with a 2-week break. Form's not going to matter shit.
Dogs have done it the hard way though, so they're very enviable.
Here's the problem that the Dogs have is that their forward line's not big enough to cope with the defensive line of.
Have you not heard of their new key forward pillar in Shaki? Playing a defensive forward role. He's been better than ever.
If next Saturday night comes around and me and you are sitting there watching the fucking game and you start to cheer fucking Josh Shaki, I will fucking keel over, mate. I will fucking keel over.
It will never happen. One of the highlights of my season was actually booing Shaki right in front of me. Literally right in front of me.
Right in front of me.
It was huge.
Ben, who's going to be the better premiership player, Mitch Morton or Josh Shaki?
Wow, I just spilled beer on my face. That was great. Wow.
Oh, if Shaki is a premiership player before Dane Zorko, I will fucking curl over.
My Lord.
I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, so I just to clarify my point on why I'm choosing Melbourne, it's their defense. Like, I think if...
You think their defense is their difference?
I honestly think that the forward line of Melbourne's not fantastic, but it's doing a good job at the moment. The midfield is arguably I put that in the sway of the Dogs. So especially with Martin back, I really do feel like that dynamic. Unfortunately, with Tim English, he's just still not there all the way there, but. That when they can put him forward, it just completely transforms their side. But Stephen May and Jake Lever have been fucking outstanding for the entire season. And I just can't see the Dogs' forward line, unfortunately, penetrating that enough. Kicking a big enough score to stop them from winning.
Tenacious, how dare you say Shack Attack?
Attack.
It is not happening. I have forgiven Elliot Yeo, right? I have forgiven Elliot Yeo. Right, Shaki can go fuck himself for the reasons in which we picked him, and then he left. He's a reject. He should always be a reject.
Can I just say, I love that you guys get fucking annihilated twice in a row, and then you fucking still have Josh Shaki to fuck you over. Oh, mate, it's
not us.
Great.
Shaki definitely played a part in Port Adelaide for sure.
You know what? I'm switching mine right now. I'm switching it. I'm going for the Dogs.
You can't do that.
No, fuck it.
You can't
I can do what I fucking want. This is my fucking podcast. Oh wait, I'm spinning on the mic.
The 6-headed shark attack. Yeah, it sounds more likely. Okay. Anyway, so Brownlow's who's?
I just watched that movie, boys. 6-headed shark attack. You watch that?
No,
that's a fucking thing. That's a fucking pisser, boy.
Sounds like Sharknado. Sounds like a.
Yeah, it's worse than Sharknado.
I don't know.
Fucking
sounds like a Tasmanian thing, boys. Swizz, Brownlow.
Brownlow. Well, as much as I'd like to say Dusty or it's got to be. You know what? I've said it, Clary, all along. I think he's done enough and I don't think. I think it's going to be a situation where Petrarca's still going to finish top 5. So they're going to get lots of votes, but they're not. They might steal off each other, but they're still going to get 3s and 2s. So I'm going to back Clary in.
Clary, hey, I respect that. I mean, look, it's not a terror. I mean, look. Here's the thing with the Brownlow this year. We said this earlier in the year. The Brownlow is generally a midfielder's award. Am I right? Everyone agrees with that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
There's been about 7 or 8 really, really good midfielders this year that all could have claims to the Brownlow. So who do I think it's going to be? Well, I cancel out anyone on the Dogs. And the reason is Jack McRae just broke the fucking season record for most disposals in a season. Bontempelli's had a fucking blinder. I think that they're going to steal votes of each other. And early in the season, you've got fucking Josh Dunkley, who played fucking fantastic in the first 6 rounds. So you got to remember.
And then Bruce also kicked 10 against North, so there's some votes done.
There's votes coming out the fucking wazoo for the Doggies boys. Unfortunately, I just don't think they're there.
How many votes does Trelaw get? Hey, he did well though against Port Adelaide when it counts.
Don't diss my fucking boy. I'll fucking kill you. I'll end it right now. Let's go.
He's no longer your boy.
No, he's my boy. I supported the move because Collingwood treated him like a piece of shit and they shouldn't. There's no way that should have happened, and we should all agree that last year that trade shouldn't have happened. But whatever.
That was last year, Chris. Hey, I'd love to talk about things that are 12 months old, but move on.
For that reason, my number one, and it's the same reason with Clary. Like Clary, I think has been fantastic all season, but Gawn's been also fantastic, and I think that Stephen May's been fantastic. There's been a lot of demons that have been really, really out of this world good. For that reason, and honestly, like there's some games there that you're like, Clary has been abnormally amazing. And if there was a 6-point rule, then fantastic. But he's only going to get 3 votes for those games. There's so many games where Clary just does Clary, and he's not necessarily outstanding. He's just Clary.
Kind of like McCream.
Right. Which is a downfall to him. The guy...
When they're so consistent that they don't stand out, they're kind of like, oh, yeah, but we expect you to get 30. You get 30, we'll give you 1 vote. Good luck.
The guy that's done it in wins, in losses, in everything is Jack Steele, and that's who I'm fucking tipping for the Brownlow.
Oh, what do you think, Swizz?
What am I thinking?
Yeah.
So
Clary, right? You said Clary?
I was pouring myself another drink.
Ah, yes. No, well done.
Oh, my God. Okay, so quick disclosure. Cheers. I just turned the mic volumes down, so I'm hoping that if there's any distortion
is it
in the
because
first... You're yelling. Because you're drinking. You're drinking and you're yelling.
I'll start breakdancing in a second if you give me a chance, all right?
Right, so I've turned everything down a little bit, so hopefully there won't be any distortion because Chris gets loud.
Okay. Can we preface this by saying there are 2 Chris's and we all know them. They're very well.
Yes, one's tolerable. Guess which one? Guess which one? Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So I'm quite known as the guy that gets drunk and does stupid shit, and that's kind of my deal, right? So that's why I don't drink so much anymore, because it leads to bad decisions.
Man, and you haven't drunk it 10 days. What have I unleashed by giving you a 2.2 standard straight up?
No. But here's the thing. Like I can actually nowadays have a couple of drinks and be fine, but the second it gets to 6, 7, 8, it's all over Red Raver.
Jeez, Chris is going out tonight.
All right, we're going to do one. We're going streaking.
Once it hits your lips.
To the quad to the
Once
gymnasium.
it hits your lips. It's so good. Yeah, right. Okay, so for me, I think Clary, but I honestly think it's going to be so close. I wouldn't be surprised if McRae or Bond or Steele jumps in there, but I don't know. I think the D's have been so on top for most of the year. They dropped like 3 easy games, so yes, there's like, that's gone, but actually in one against Adelaide, he kicked and he would be like best on for sure.
Yeah,
so
didn't they lose that game?
They did.
They
Yeah. So, but that's one of their ones they lost that they should have won, and he killed it.
If he doesn't get the 3, honestly, if he does not get the 3 for that game,
right
after that second half performance, I don't know.
Sure.
But having said that, in the first half he was fucking shit, and I know he was still on like 70 or something Supercoach at half time. But his second half was unbelievable, massive, but just not enough to get the win. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the rest of Melbourne.
All right,
look,
so
I think
what's your final call?
I said Oliver. Yeah, I'm going Clary.
And so you guys are both Oliver. I'm Steele.
Yeah, I think it's so hard though. You could go for a roughie. It's like a dog, like or a horse race. When there's like 3 or 4 horses that are close. I'm not betting either.
I'm not betting this year.
No, me either. Fuck that.
I'm not betting this year.
Fuck that. I'll probably bet on the grand final though. That's I do that. That's probably my only time of the year I bet. That and Melbourne Cup. Apart from losing money to you, of course.
You know what I don't mind? I don't mind a little first goal scorer in the granny. I don't mind a little Norm Smith.
See, I don't know. Like, as in, a couple of years ago, I used to bet on games a little bit. Now I don't really bet on games. I'll bet against friends. Because if you lose money, you're losing it to a friend. So even though I laugh and it hurts me so, but at least I know that my money's going to a fairly good cause, right? Same as poker. If you play poker against mates, you don't go to a casino, you don't lose a whole heap of money. If you lose to friends. I prefer that.
I don't really like. I mean, the odds in AFL, especially head-to-head bets, they're so shit.
Oh, especially start of the year. Just bet all opposites. Anyone that's a favourite, bet against them. The first 4 weeks of the year, you don't even know what's going to happen.
I don't enjoy betting on head-to-head.
I'm nervous enough at games.
You know what I do now, which is fun because it's only fun because it's like 7-legger.
Swizz, we will get you.
I'll bet a shitty multi on like a Friday night game that I do not care a fuck about, just so I can watch someone get to 25 disposals. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'll do. Like I won't bet head to head anymore. I just don't do it. And
Chris,
yeah,
you've got to jump on the draft stars, mate, if that's what you want. The draft stars is where it's at, buddy.
You keep telling me this, but you don't tell me how it works. So.
Okay.
Mate,
Hey, is this sponsored by Draft Stars?
It's AFL Dream Team, but you're picking 9 players a game. It's the fucking bomb, mate. It's where it's at.
I don't think it's really the bomb because I've never played it. So.
Cody Waitman first goal from Binger. I don't know. I think I quite like Pickett. Pickett's so dynamic. He's a fucking magic man. I swear. I love him. I want him back. I actually had him in Keeper League. Traded him for like nothing. Same as Luke Jackson. Jackson! I traded him last year for absolutely nothing. What an idiot.
Here's the thing with first goal scorer in a granny is that
anything.
Like I always choose a roughie. As someone who's got a chance to kick a goal, I'm not going to choose a fucking backman. But I'm not going to bet on Bailey Fritsch first goal. I'm not going to bet on Aaron Norton first goal. Like that's not something you can do. You're not going to get the odds on that. So like outside of those guys, between take out Fritsch, take out Norton, who's the first goal scorer? I don't mind.
How many people are jumping on Bailey Smith? Way too many for a first goal for sure.
Oh, he's on fucking fire. Right
he is ridiculous.
I generally wouldn't pick a midfielder because let's say that a lot of times,
unless it's
first
Libba,
clearance results in a goal.
Yeah.
Right. So you're coming from, especially with 666, it's not like they have this extra defender. The first clearance will result generally in some sort of score.
Get on Spargo. There you go. Someone that no one will pick. Spargo, $15.
Don't mind it.
He's in the forward line. It'll do. Yeah, right. Interesting. Okay, so let's go. Swizzy, how did you finish the year? Because I think you were the only saving grace from our side, really.
I'll really get back out of it. Yeah, I was. What the fuck do I know? I know I was in the top 1,000. 947.
Flex. Yeah, you see that?
Yeah, 947, mate.
947, well done. So we might as well keep on this train though. So Swizz, 947. What were your best trades of the year and your worst trades for the year?
Oh, fuck no. We were looking at that. What do we do when those injuries happened? It was Dunkley down to Zorko and Ridley over to Oliver. So that was pretty handy at the time.
When Ridley missed a week or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good decision in hindsight because we were all like, oh, no, don't get rid of Ridley. But then he literally played so bad for so long.
Do you know, like...
Yeah, for the next 3-4 weeks.
What's funny about Ridley, just to cut everybody off, is that because this is what happens when you're drinking. So fuck you and fuck your pod.
Hey, Swizz learnt though. Swizz cut you off before because he knows he has to jump in. He knows. Draft stars. Where are your draft stars?
Oh, yeah, you got to get in.
Swizz, jump in whenever.
No, here's what I want to say about Ridley. I fucking predicted this at the start of the season.
You predicted nothing, mate.
I predicted Ridley to be like 100 average. I was like, oh, he'll probably maintain. He's not worth the fucking price.
Shut up, Meg.
Yeah, right? He's not worth the fucking price. He fucking averages 97, and I got no fucking props from it. After his injury, he went to fucking shit. He was killing it, and then he went to shit. Now, that was
Shut up, Meg.
Arguably role dependent, and so I am looking to what he's going to be next year. If they, the rumor is Jake Kelly to the Dons, which would free up Ridley potentially.
Today, Junior.
Anyway, it's another conversation for another day. But I do want to see how Ridley goes.
We need more lemon pledge.
All right. Long-winded.
So that was the good. And also added on that good was when I went Impey to Dangerfield on the run home. And Dangerfield just started to fucking kill it. But the bad, and fuck, there's a lot of bad. The one that really hurt me was fucking Jordan out in round 5. And the problem was he had the Sunday game, played shit the week before, and I needed to trade one of the rookies out. And of all the fucking rookies, Jordan then fucking plays every week and starts scoring massive. So, yeah, that was a fucking killer. And Berry as well. When I traded out Berry, I think I traded him down to it was either Poulter or someone like that. And then he just... Oh, no, sorry. Berry was Rowe. I traded Rowe out, and then the next 3 or 4 weeks he scored like 70s and 80s. So that was fun. And then Heaney, and he had the 4 weeks that he's
I love this. Like, what's your best trade? Proceeds to deliver us 7 trades that were really bad.
Hey, I'm going to be similar, Chris. Don't you worry.
Hey, all right. Well, I suppose I'll jump in. So
where'd you finish?
The last week I scored 24-21, which I thought was fucking good, by the way, but apparently it wasn't. So I ended up sliding another 146 places, and I ended up ranking 1,736, which, I mean, after the ridiculous 2 weeks of the drop of 1,200 at like round 19, 20 or whatever I had.
Also known as the best 2 weeks of the year.
Fuck you and fuck all your fucking family. Sorry. This is what I was saying. Hey, that was harsh. That was harsh. But this is what happens when you drink and you
big man?
Anyway, so look, I was not unhappy that I eventually got to 1730. That's not too bad. Whatever. It is what it is. Having said that, I should have been. I really, really wanted top 1,000 this year, and I worked my ass off to get it. And yes, welcome again. My best trade is exactly the same as Swizz's trade. Dunkley to Zorko, easily the best trade of the season. The second that he did it, he just went on a fucking heater, and the people that didn't have him were just hating their life every single week. So that was easily my best trade. My worst trade, I'm going to split it. I would say not to trading out James Jordan early when he scored that really low score, and I traded him, and he fucking killed me the rest of the season because
he went massive.
He just hit 80.
It's like Friends. It's like Friends.
Week.
7.
And like
7.
The premium I got is only scoring 100, and I'm just like, fuck, dude. Those 20 points, dude. What's 20 points when I trade out a guy that just made 150, 200k over what I trade him out for? That hurt my season incredible. All the people above me I'm sure they held Jordan. I'm sure they did. Like I genuinely thought that my team was really, really well structured most of the season, but that trade fucked me. The next trade that fucked me, trading Brayshaw to Neil, which I thought was a fucking great idea at the time.
Hey, did he go like 190?
Dude, that week, I tell you what, I don't even think Neil fucking played that week. Like, the week that Brayshaw went 190, I swear to God. And can we all agree that like Brayshaw is a future GOAT? Like he's like got it like got it all.
McRae potential, like good in, yeah,
good in, good out, can kick goals, decent disposal. Once he gets his fitness to the highest level,
he's not far off though, fitness wise.
But he still only averaged 107 this year. We'll get into this a bit later.
Okay, thank you.
But dude, I tell you what, trading out Brayshaw. And by the way, it wasn't just trading out Brayshaw. It was trading out Brayshaw over trading out Taranto. And if you want to have a sneak peek at my fucking burn list, I tell you what. Woo! Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
Ben, tell us where you're at, mate. Tell us where you're at.
Well, remember how you guys kept giving me shit about Josh Kelly and me trading him out? I was like, yeah, that's fine, like, because I traded in Neil, but then Neil just went straight out and I brought in Bontempelli. Well, I actually had a look, and yes, Bontempelli came in the same week for Dunkley, but I actually traded Josh Kelly to Lockie Neal, who got injured the second I brought him in, and then traded in Steele.
Yeah, you did.
I traded in Steele, who is a good pick, but I paid $642,000 for him, not $550 that everyone else paid for him.
I paid $576.
Yeah, man. So that's me. Now, the biggest burn list for me, the biggest trade issue. Now, it's a trade issue for two
where'd
reasons.
you finish for the season?
1491.
Fuck you.
I went from 1,000. I dropped 400.
Wait, what was your
places.
total score? Can we just say like, how much is the difference?
Look, that's last
No.
year's.
I need your shit. I need to be like, oh, it was only like this many points.
Well, I'm gonna tell you the reason for my fault.
Swizz as well. Get your total score.
51,761.
So 761. You were 96 points ahead of me.
Swizz?
What the fuck I score in there now? I'm flicking between pages
Oh,
here.
fuck me. Have another drink, Swizz, for fuck's sake.
Hey, Bullavanaka.
Total score was 51,992.
Okay, so
Oh,
you
wow,
were 229 or something like that. If that's my quick maths, I
So
don't
you
know.
were 90 ahead of me, and he was 200 and whatever.
Yeah, okay, so I would have actually beaten Swizz if this is my biggest trade error / non-trade. Aaron
If I had fucking
Hall.
Jordan, I would fucking
No. Aaron,
you
that's
guys.
Jordan's nothing. That's a rookie who you're moving on, and you moved on wrong.
Yeah, but his points were
We all
really
did that.
valuable.
I moved on row too early, and then he started banging out some good scores. That's not the issue. Aaron fucking Hall is the issue. I got to the bye round, Chris tried to talk me into Toby Green or Aaron Hall. And I was like, Aaron Hall's injury prone. He's going to get injured. I'm bucking the trend. I'm not getting in Aaron Hall. And I think I had a look. It was like 70% of the top 5,000 had Aaron Hall. And I was one of them that did not have Aaron Hall. He kept killing me every single week.
And I kept
killing
enjoying
me.
every single.
And I brought in
I
Langford.
remember that day outside BCF.
Man, he's
I literally we went in.
BCF.
You were outside. And you were waiting for me, and you're like, I did the trade. I'm like, what?
Langford.
Like, what? Like, you did it without even, like, you kind of
spontaneous. And then I went the other way.
Went and fucking did it before.
Whoa. I did the whole risk it for the biscuit, which did not work out. Aaron Hall, and he killed me every week. I brought in a point of difference who was 1%. Somehow 3% decided to join me on this bad joyride. And so I avoid an injury-prone Aaron Hall. And what do I get? An injury-prone fucking Langford. And Aaron Hall literally pulls the Dane Rampy of 2021 and absolutely fucks me. It's so bad. Langford, I was playing rookies.
So what you're saying is...
Rookies.
It's no longer fuck Dane Rampy, it's fuck Aaron Hall.
So bad.
So bad?
Swizz,
what do you feel about Aaron Hall?
Hang on. I'm not done, right? Aaron Hall, he cost me...
Man, Aaron Hall.
He's a beautiful man.
He probably cost me 500 points.
Do you like dreadlock Aaron Hall, or do you like just like...
He probably cost me 500 points. He
just muted me this...
Aaron Hall probably cost me like 500 points. You have no idea.
Dude, that is a disrespect shit. I got fucking zoned out. Swizz, he just fucking muted me.
And Swizz. All right, I'm
not very nice.
I'm bi-partial.
How good is it when you see Hall kick out to Zeeble, who gives it back to Hall, who then butchers it, turns it over to Zeeble and gives it back to Hall again?
That's the best. It's literally the best. You know, I can't...
Anyway, I missed out on a top 500 probably, because I reckon it was more than 290 places. It would have been the difference between...
This is why it's surprising that you beat me, and I'm so upset.
Yeah, I went from like three...
I know why. When we get to the burn list, I'll explain.
I was ranked so well, and then I just had these slowly but surely fall from grace, and that's me.
Chris, you know what's going to happen next year? Everyone's going. You and I will start Hall. He'll go on a heater for the first 7 to 8 weeks, turn up every fucking week. Ben will go, fuck me, I'll have to trade this prick in, and then he'll get injured.
That's true.
All right.
Now, I want to just discuss a little bit about the actual finals so far. So, firstly, we need to explain the absolute capitulation that the Brisbane Lions experienced.
Okay.
Ben, tell us how you feel, because I feel like no one rocked up.
Excuse me, I don't know if you know, but we were winning for quite a little bit of that game, Chris.
Quite a little bit, so like 3 minutes? Or?
Just not the important part, as you can tell.
No, good for you. Yeah.
It was... I was sitting in the middle of the square, like not in the square, obviously not on the field, middle of the field, and we had great seats. They cost like
shut the fuck up,
$100 a seat.
Oi, Binger, if anyone actually tipped the Pies to make the finals this year, literally, if anyone did, first of all, I'll punch him in the face.
Binger made a Pies comment. Obviously, Chris is just tirading.
I am, because I've had a few drinks and that's what I do. So Binger just says at least the Lions. At least the Lions made the final. Yeah, I get it. The Pies didn't make the finals. I get it. You know what? No one expected them to. You know what the Lions should...
Okay, so here's the quick thing. Even the
Pies...
Pies...
off the controls.
The Pies didn't think they were going to do as bad as they did either, Chris, which is why they gave away their number 1 draft pick. So no one expected them to make finals, but no one expected them to come second last. Now, can I speak? Thank you.
No.
So the game now. Here's the worst part, because I rated the Bulldogs, which is why I said the week before, I'm like, the Melbourne versus Brisbane game was pinnacle, because playing GWS or an aging Geelong would have been more beneficial than trying to go through the Dogs and then trying to go through Port at home. So I was already a little bit upset that we lost the first game, but it was a great game. It was a really good game to watch. Highs and lows when Brisbane were absolutely on heaters. I was up, we were running the high, we were kicking goals, but at the same time, like, the Dogs just sort of kept chipping away. Lions were shit in so many areas. It's funny because there was some guy next to me that was absolutely going on like, Bailey Smith, do something, Bailey Smith, and he kept cheering, and then all of a sudden Bailey kicks an awesome goal on his left, And the worst part is that sometimes when you go into these games, you have this deep feeling inside that maybe you're not going to be good enough today. And I had this weird feeling like the Dogs were going to pip us, and it was classic, 2010 Brisbane Lions supporter, where you feel like that when the push comes to shove, that your team's going to let you down when you expect them to kind of pull through. So that's sort of where we're at. I'm still happy with our season. Could be worse. So let's just hope we pull through. So I'm sort of sure Port's the same way, but I don't think anyone can argue Melbourne versus the Bulldogs is probably the final that we deserve this year. Brisbane haven't played well enough for long enough this year. I don't think they deserved it. Bulldogs only slipped the last couple of rounds to slide to fifth. I think it was a very even competition, and I think it's actually a very good grand final series. I'm happy Dogs are there instead of Port. That's me. So, yeah.
Yeah, I like it, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I was upset, but I was there, and even then I walked out straight away, and I wasn't that livid. Losing to the Dogs is, something that you can live with because they should have been top four. If you lost, I mean, if I lost to Geelong or I lost to GWS, then I would be pissed.
I mean, how many people tipped the Dogs to be number one this year?
Yeah. So
and what I will say is that at least you lost to both Melbourne and the Bulldogs, who obviously are both in the grand final. But you still lost, so you're fucking shit. Especially out in straight sets, and
again.
And we're gonna call you. I mean, who loses in straight sets? Some shit tennis player that's not Australian. I don't even know.
Segue.
But what I will say is that, what do you guys think? So this is a serious question that I want to ask.
It was a great final series.
What do you guys think about the finals so far? There's been 2 finals that have been actually
GWS Sydney was close and Brisbane Dogs was close.
Yeah, they're 1 point games or they're over by half time.
What is that? Because I as long as I have watched AFL football, finals have always been the closely contested. They've always been really fantastic in terms of the contest. And this year they're fucking blown out, and I can only put that towards potentially the pandemic and the quarantine and the guys staying in a state and blah blah. Like they just want to go home. So
well, if you're the
half time comes along and they don't fucking fight back. Like I don't get it. Is that potentially the reason? Is there other reasons? Is it potentially a problem with the game of football? Is the rules not enabling people to come back like they are supposed to, or the 666 designed to give you a chance to score from a centre bounce is going the other way? Is there too much scoring, from a centre bounce after a goal?
I'm fine with it.
Keep that momentum going.
I'm fine with it.
I also think a couple of those matchups too, especially the first and second week of finals, like Geelong versus Sydney would have been the better matchup. I think the Giants, that was shot once Toby and everyone else that was sort of missing. That was going to be difficult for them.
No one saw Port getting flogged though. That's an issue on Port for sure. That was just a dog, and even the Geelong game, the Geelong weren't expecting that to happen. So I think it's just a testament to how much Geelong and Bulldogs actually came out and just literally played out of the skin.
Port played like a team that didn't want to get injured going into the grand final.
Fair.
Do you think that's... I kind of think that's the youth of Port, though. Like, Port have no problem, mate. They'll come out next year and they'll be a top 4
team. They will. Yeah.
Especially if they get Dawson and someone else. Who else is wanting to go to Port? Dawson, possibly.
I don't know how Dawson's going. They've got 17 halfbacks.
Houston's disposable. Put him in the midfield.
Jeremy Finlayson.
Yes, that's it.
Whoa. It was by Tom Brown, so let's calm down.
Went nuts about that.
Yeah. I don't know. Look.
Yeah.
All I could say about Port is this. I think they're on when they're on, and that is a large percentage of the time. And the longer that their kids have to develop, obviously, will mean that they'll get that more consistent. That's why they lost.
Is Rosie going to finally live up to the expectation, though? Surely.
Oh, fucking no. Well, no, dude. No, fuck you. The only reason... No, I'm going to talk about this later.
Shut up, mate.
The only reason that Connor Rosie is not playing midfield right now is because of his injury in the early part of the season.
If he's not good as a forward, why would he be good as a midfielder?
Are you kidding me? He's a fucking dude. Do you watch games? Oh my god, this makes me so angry. Oh, Port supporters, please be in the chat. Please be in the chat.
Correct. Port Adelaide are just the new Geelong. Can't get it done prelim week.
Port Adelaide's the Brisbane of this year. All the talent and just no go.
I mean, look, I'll be honest. I tipped the start of the season. I tipped Geelong and Western Bulldogs to be in the grand final, and that's who I thought.
I
it
thought
would be.
Geelong would be close too, but they just ran out of gas.
I don't know how Geelong ran out of gas like that. Like they just literally capitulated. They have beaten Melbourne. You know, obviously they've done the. How many times have them and Melbourne come to within one kick? And Geelong won the majority of those, and Melbourne just went, nah, not this time. And I respect that. That's a big daddy move. That is a big daddy move from Melbourne to be like, no, we're past you now. And that's probably why they're going to again win the premiership.
Hang on, sorry. Tenacious is saying, Ben, imagine letting one of your midfielders go to a grand final and paying his salary to do so.
I was talking about Trelaw.
Oh, yes. I was like trying to look at it going, hang on, what's going on here? Yeah. That'd be hilarious. Actually, you know what? Maybe I will go for the Dogs just, to fuck pies over for sure.
Boys, what's your thoughts on that? Because Bulldogs are actually going above the salary cap compared to every other team. Trelaw, Steph Martin, I think they got someone else getting paid there too.
Well, Steph's retiring apparently, isn't he? I heard that
possibly. Yeah. There's a bit of talk about Goldie going their way.
No, they don't need him with Tim English. He's done. Like Tim English can be the forward.
Bev does not want to play Tim English in the ruck.
Well, look, here's the thing about Trelaw, and I'll say this with all honesty. About 18 months ago was my birthday, and it was an amazing day. And before we had Zorko on the line, young Adam Trelaw actually was on Cameo, and he gave me a shout out, and it was the most amazing thing of all time. Trelaw was my favorite player at the time at the Pies.
That was paid for.
It was obviously paid for.
Yeah.
When he was done badly by Collingwood, I felt like I almost wanted to leave the club myself. That's how badly it was taken, and like that's a big thing for me to say because it's been my entire life as a football fan, as a person. Like it was really, really hard. It was really bad, but I actually to the point where I private messaged him on Instagram, and he never obviously returned my message.
Hey, now you know how it feels, Dane Zorko. Eat your heart out.
No, Dane Zorko's not the same because
hey, he didn't respond, mate. That's the same as rejecting a coffee.
No, because you were actually talking to him. You face to face. That's different. Like he's not gonna like.
So you never got that close. Okay.
I'm sure he got 3,000 messages that week saying no, the club are doing you wrong. I understand why the club did what they did. I get it now. Like, I understand, but it's still fucking hurt. And at the time, he was my favourite player.
How does it feel to have pick two, Chris?
You got it all wrong. The law was the league's biggest fuckwit. And now he's very likeable.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Hey.
Is that because he's just not at Collingwood anymore?
Hey, Chris, just
I bare my heart and soul to you,
Chris,
boys. And this is what I get.
How's that better list looking for him?
Chris,
Premiership.
quick flashback. Now, Newcomb and Bramble, did you get both or did you just get one?
Just the one, mate.
Which one?
Unfortunately, I got Newcomb. The old Duke. Jukey.
Well, mate, Froggy's on here. Mate, Frogger, the dogger, number 2, said, how good's Bramble? And I said, pretty sure Chris didn't get him.
Hey, I love Frogger.
Frogger made that gif about us, yes?
Frogger is also on the Supercoach Elites Discord, and I respect you.
Isn't Frogger's the one that made that gif about me and...
yeah, probably.
Yeah,
he makes
remember
that?
That funny thing that we end up sharing because he was like making fun of me and.
He did. Yeah, that's from the Elites Discord.
Yes. Hang on, Frogger, why am I like bantering with you right now? You totally fucked me up.
I respect that. We should probably get Corey online because he fucking owes me a fucking carton of beer.
I thought he's already delivered. Has he not delivered?
No. He contacted me to make delivery. So, bet update.
We can't.
Transition.
Hang on, but we can't call. We got Swizz on my phone. You need to. No, we can't have him on here.
We can't. But
maybe when we disconnect Swizz.
You know what? I'll get him to record an apology. So bet update. I had a fucking blinder of a year, boys. I don't know about you guys. Swizz, did you make any bets this year that you regret?
None.
You fucking won them all, or you didn't make a bet?
But however, next year we'll be getting some 3-way bets.
Ooh.
Oh, it's always good with the three-way.
Just bets there, or is that where the
well,
three ways limited?
Well, when we're talking three ways,
Well, Ben, would you like to explain why I'm holding up this glorious scotch that I'm holding right now?
Well, lovely story. So obviously I owed Chris some drinks, $150 worth. Hence the Shivers 18-year-old. Meanwhile, that used to be like quite a decent buy. Now it's like gone up in price, jacked like ridiculously.
Jack to the tits.
Anyway, so here's a little fun story. I didn't like to feel like I was losing, so I actually bought Chris a bottle of Shivers 18-year-old, and I bought myself one to make it feel like I too am winning.
You're like, I like to play this game. It's called I Win.
Yeah, it's more of a me being generous. Again, I don't generally bet on the line, but
On the line?
if I bet with friends, then at least my money goes to friends, and that's kind of how I live with my life. So yeah, there you go.
Would you like it neat, sir, or with some soda water?
Nah, neat. Mate,
Neat.
what do you mean
It's a neat-
soda water? It's an 18-year-old. You don't add shit to an 18-year-old.
I don't mind it.
18-year-olds
You know
come
what?
fresh out of the box,
Hey,
mate.
look.
Do you not know how this goes?
Here's what I know about Scotch. Everyone likes it differently, but
Yeah.
but there is something to be said about a dash of soda water with a little glass of Scotch. From
Let me tell you something about 18-year-olds.
I'm like, here's what I know about Scotch. He's like, well, here's what I know about 18-year-olds.
Hopefully my wife-to-be can't hear us through these walls, or I will be in shit.
Right.
Oh wow, that's a good pour, my man. That's like at least a few dollars worth. My man.
You're welcome.
My man.
We're not here to fuck spiders, my friend.
Well,
I'm gonna have a dash of soda because I love a good dash of soda.
I don't know. I like the flavors. I don't know. I'm
No,
not.
I do
Chris,
as well.
we're kind of bumping shoulders. Do you mind if I like? Is there no buffalo to this? Because
No, there's no buffalo when you're drinking straight.
okay, thank you. I was gonna say because we're left-handed, it's gonna be a little bit more awkward. Cheers, my man.
Cheers, my man. And here's to thank you, Patrick Cripps,
Oh
for your year of
no!
solidarity.
Fuck Patrick Cribs. Fuck Hugh McCluggage. Fuck Lockie Neal.
Fuck.
All
fuck
three
Ken
of them cost
Guthrie.
me money. And no. I'm not. Your boys did well.
my boys.
My boys did not do well.
Yeah, you're right.
Anyway, cheers.
Cheers. And to next year for you, Swizz. Cheers for you as well, mate.
Join us.
Yes, boys.
Get in on some of this action, all right?
Absolutely. I said I'd try to crack my Shivers open as well.
Oh, you're fucking right.
What have you got?
should.
What have you got? What have you got? What have you
That
got?
is so nice, bro.
Oh, dude, it's so
I
good.
was 18. Oh,
Oh, mate, 18 never tastes better.
nah, it's good. It's good gear. It's good gear.
Oh, innuendo.
As a bottom pricer too. So, bloke.
Oh no, that he's talking about not Newcomb. He's talking about Bramble, the guy you missed
Oh,
out on.
yeah,
No,
no, I missed
Froggies
out on
hitting you up there.
So bet
Cheers.
update is I won fucking everything this year, which is a fucking big change because
He
last
normally
year
loses everything.
Last year he won everything. All right.
Oh, we
He won
have
everything
to.
last year.
Yeah.
All right. And I also won against Corey from SC Elites, and shout out to Corey because he's been an absolute fucking trooper. We chat most nights playing NBA 2K22 because whatever. And Tom Phillips averaged a grand total. I think it was like 69.4, which was like 20.2, 21.2 or something like that under his what the bet was, which was insane.
I think
and
you can add a call.
I would arguably say that he is the number one biggest letdown of the season. So many people rode their hopes on that preseason game where he fucking killed it, and they're like, "No, Tom Phillips is going to average 95." Blah blah. What the fuck happened there? I mean, I know what happened because I have watched his entire career, but it's insane to think that like people would just believe that he was going to play inside midfield with. I don't know. It was just weird. Swizz, like, did you start Tom? You didn't start Phillips, did you?
Who?
You didn't start Phillips.
No one started Phillips.
No. I think I might have had him in one of my dream teams, AFL Fantasy, and that where he can rack up the ball and fucking butcher it, but Supercoach, no fucking way.
Yeah, well, that is it, eh? That is
Boys, I'm
fucking-
going to try and call him. Hey, let's
Oi,
see how we go.
let's get
I think
Corey
you can,
on.
I think you can add a joint call,
Yeah.
and
you
let's
can
see.
three-way it.
Yeah, so I'm thinking we can. Oh. Wait, let's just all say Tom Phillips and laugh our fucking ass off. That'd be so
Nah.
good. No.
Beep, beep.
Shh, I wonder if he answers.
Nah, he'll answer.
Nah, I don't know.
It could be in the middle of a game. Nah.
Thank you for calling Corey from Metro Home.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm unable to
he's
take your call at the moment, but please leave your name and number, and I'll give you a call back. Thank you.
Corey, this is the SC Elites team here, my man, and Tom fucking Phillips.
It's not the SC Elites team. It's definitely it's Starters team. Oi, what are you doing, bro?
Mate, you need to call us.
He's probably in a rec game right now.
It'll happen.
I love you, bro. I'll talk to you soon. So me and Corey actually are pretty good friends now. We play online games together. But you know what? We're just chilling. We're just having some fun. So I suppose we should move on to, now that we've established that I basically dominated all the bets for the season. We should move on to the
I
next.
hung up on Swizz.
Oh wow.
Sorry, Swizzy. He's coming back.
We'll move on to the next one, which was shoulda, coulda, woulda. Now, what that means is, what?
Sorry, Swizz.
No, that's all good.
No, you're right. Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
So, what should you have done? What could you have done? And what would you have done? So,
Well, easy. Aaron Hall into my side. Langford,
All right,
get out,
all
point of
right.
difference.
Now I get that. All right,
Excuse me, I'm nearly done.
No, you go. No, it's all you.
Should have, could have, would have, not bring Lockie Neal in and out of my side 3 times. 3 trades I wasted. I was like, no, he's good now. His injuries have done. He hasn't been injured in 5 years. Bring him in. Happy days. And Houston. I was 2K short of going Mills. I could have brought in Callum Mills into my side. I was $2,000 short, so I was like, oh, I know, the next best averaging would be Houston in round 8, and it was
That is a classic shoulda, coulda, woulda.
15 rounds of pain. Swizz.
Well, just the starting teams and that, you're ooh and ah over a couple of people, like oohing over fucking Dow versus Impey.
Oh, you went down.
Oh, you fuck, dude!
Hang on.
No. I need to highlight this. This is a conversation.
Moment of silence.
No, fuck that. I need this conversation. How many times, Swizz, did I say that he's an absolute fuckwit? How many times did no one believe me when I said that? And how many times did you just ignore me and be like, oh, I don't need him. I don't need, what was Impey? I'm going to go down. I just want to know on a scale of just tell me rough ballpark, how many times I said that?
To my defense.
No.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
No. I want to know, how many times do you think that I said that to you?
Ballpark, 100.
Oh, man.
Oh, man, it feels good being right, hey?
Oh, once, mate. Even a broken clock's right twice a day.
Absolutely, but when you are right, you got to fucking call it, right?
You actually have had a pretty good year. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, I did. Yet I finished last amongst us 3.
I got lucky listening to you.
Yeah, Chris, the reason was too, because that friggin' idiot sitting next to you convinced me to start Lockie Neal
That sounds like his
instead of fucking Clary. And then I was like, well, I better get Dow instead of Impey because I'm short now.
Don't blame me. Just make
No,
better
I'm
choices.
blaming you. Fuck.
I really
Neal.
feel like that's a you problem.
You know what's funny though? Going into the year, I'm like, right, I'm not picking up anyone that's been knocked down. I'm not picking up anyone that's been injured because we're going into a longer season. Lockie Neal injured all preseason. I'm like, I'll get Lockie Neal. Bad ideas.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go with Mike coulda, shoulda, woulda. And look, for the whole season, I didn't have fucking Clayton Oliver.
Yeah, that's a big one.
The entire fucking season. And you know what? It's a simple trade as Lockie Neal to Clayton Oliver day one. And I don't even know how many points that gets me. I would love to know. Can someone in the chat let me know how many points extra I would actually have got,
Chris,
if I had started Clayton instead of...
Chris, this sounds like our preseason research. How about you do something?
Oh, this is insane.
How about you do something and actually have a look?
Worse than that is that I had like 17 times during the season where I could have traded in Clayton Oliver, and I still just decided not to.
Who was the biggest dud that you brought in that you could have brought in Clary for? Like, you brought in Parrish was pretty good, but he dropped off.
No, that's what I mean. Like Parrish
went well.
I think from when I got him in, he had that one big game. Outside of that,
He was pretty bad.
he was fucking shit. The rest of the season, he was tagged a lot. Like, he had his great run.
Zach Merritt must have
and they
been
were like,
loving life, hey.
Like, fucking dude, Zach Merritt in the
No
back
tag.
of the season, they're like, oh, fuck, this is great. Parrish, you keep doing what you're doing because no one gives a fuck about me anymore.
Yeah, he'd be loving life.
Out of fucking nowhere, all these Zach Merritt owners are like, yeah, fuck, I knew it was coming. I'm like, no, you fucking
Zachy
didn't.
Merritt.
You fucking didn't know it was coming.
Zach Merritt would have loved this year. Someone else better than him.
Zachy Merritt, boys.
Dude, I cannot
You have him,
believe.
Swizz? You have him?
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
absolutely, mate.
Good man.
I could not believe how much no one gave a fuck about Zach Merritt this year.
Mate, he killed it. He was underrated. Probably the most underrated player all year.
No, but I mean, I don't even think he played that great. Like, people are saying, like, I think he was like top 3 in like the Essendon BNF or whatever?
He's yelling.
Like, I'm yelling now.
You're fucking yelling.
But Parrish was easily their best player of the season. He's like by a fucking mile. But because he got fucking tagged in the back end of the season, he just didn't get the respect that he deserved. And I just, you know what, I'm upset about it.
Mate, even Katrina's messaging me saying, tell Chris to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you give him boy scotch. Hey, what up?
Oh,
Cheers.
when I lose
Cheers.
Scotch, cheers.
Cheers,
I'm
cheers,
going
cheers,
left
cheers.
hand. You made me paranoid now.
All right, so that's me. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. It's definitely Clayton Oliver for me.
Swizz?
He already went.
I've already
Yeah, I kind of went.
What?
The other one, when you were saying that, I was just thinking about a fucking couple of them, apart from the bloody starting lineups. But you're the one that really still annoys me because we have all these chats about where we drop a lot of names. But I was looking through the group chat, and not just with us, but with Grimo as well. I was talking up Tuke Miller after round 5 so
You were.
big.
And we were all like,
and I was like,
we
got to
actually
get on
negged him.
Tuke this year, boys. It's Tuke's year and
Yeah.
never fucking jumped on.
We negged him for you, and
You-
that's our fault.
You remember when I was like, oh, I should get Bontempelli and I should get Jared Lyons. And I was like, no, I'll spend an extra 30K and I'll go Steele, who end up dropping like 100,000.
But Steele was...
He came good. But he averaged pretty bad for a
and
little
I
while.
think that's when I was
think it was
going,
like 2
get on
bad games,
Tuke.
then he went...
He dropped. He lulled. He got like 100, 115. He kind of lulled around.
He had
and
a
then,
bad fixture.
Yeah,
Bad
and then
fixture, yeah.
went massively. Binger says Neil actually got 1497 for the year. Clary 2716. So you're looking.
Fuck
But
me.
mind you would have traded. But if just that alone, with the trade in hand and not playing rookies, etc., because Lockie Neal did get knocked
also,
out. For one or
yeah,
whatever.
also
No,
remember how many
injured.
trades I fucking wasted because of Lockie Neal.
Dude,
Twice.
I traded Josh Kelly to Lockie Neal to Steele.
It's just look. I mean, this is the difference between being ranked 1 and I honestly think like me and Supercoach Mama. By the way, hi Supercoach Mama, if you're actually listening to this,
Mate, she's one. She ain't listening to shit.
I've chatted to Em lots of times. Em's a fantastic person. She's really, really fun.
Yeah, congrats.
She deserves everything she got. But I don't think there was too much difference between my starting team and her starting team.
She just didn't fuck up like you did.
She just
Yeah,
something
very well hit.
something as simple as Clayton Oliver instead of Lockie Neal is that 100K is a huge difference over the course of the season. So props to those people who didn't go Lockie Neal. I was all over Lockie Neal.
Are you going Lockie Neal next year at like a cheap 530K or whatever?
We will get to
Fuck
that.
no.
Let's just.
okay. Well, I think
that's
we
a
kinda-
very
No.
good.
Boys, before we get
You say no.
into that, more breaking news. St Kilda have just done their BNF. Jack Steele won by a fucking fucking the whole length of the fucking Flemington Straight.
It's a fucking landslide over here, and Jack Steele won it all.
Yeah, but
He's yelling.
guess who finished second in their BNF?
Who?
St Kilda's BNF.
Jack
hang on.
Higgins.
No, Jack Higgins is not coming second.
No, dude.
Nah,
he had a
Higgins
really
wasn't
good
top
season,
10.
by the way.
But you're on the money.
King?
that awkward?
Kingy?
It was Jack Sinclair came
Oh no,
second
he
in
played
the
really
BNF.
well. No, he had a really good season.
Look, to be fair, I don't think anyone's Sinclair's.
I don't.
That, no one
Is that a
cares.
joke?
No one cares.
Oh no, Sincairs. Oh,
Sincairs?
you dropped the L and it was a joke.
Okay, there you go. I love when he jokes.
Love when he jokes. So good when he jokes.
My God, Chris, shut the fuck up.
No, Jack Sinclair is.
I'm trying to pleasure you.
Yeah, he as a winger, he played fantastic this season. And actually, preseason, I was like, wow, this guy, if he continues this role, is going to score really well, and he did. But it's just still not enough because I think he was mid only this year, wasn't he? Like he wasn't.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so it just wasn't working. Anyway, all good. So moving on, we're going to move into the surprising breakouts of this season. So, who was surprising from the season that actually averaged way more than you thought they
Well,
would?
obviously Cam fucking Guthrie. Has to be.
I said surprising.
No,
because
surprising to me.
I did not-
Surprising to
surprising
me. I did not think he'd be a top 10 pick. He surprised me because Geelong just kept being injured. So yeah, you were lucky on many fronts.
When you say lucky,
I mean very lucky. Yes.
isn't
Nah, Guthrie was great. What's funny is Guthrie made All-Australian last year when he probably shouldn't have. Had an awesome year this year and not a blimp.
Fair call. Like, look,
He was great. He was good this year.
Not bad calls, but I'm gonna give out two. Obviously, Took.
Yeah, Took.
I mean, let's just give props to Took where Took's necessary. Like if the Gold Coast Suns won 4 more games, he's a chance at the Brownlow. But because he just hasn't won enough games to be in the contention. It's just like when what was it, Gary Ablett that year where they just missed the finals, the Suns, and he was clearly the best player of the year.
Didn't he win?
That's what I mean. But
Oh, no,
they
they
only
lost.
they only just missed the finals, right? Take that back to Gold Coast right now, where they're like, four.
Yeah,
did they
two
finish,
got
14,
suspended too.
Right? Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
That doesn't matter.
Binger just said you made a mute point.
But I'm just saying, like that would be the sort of the season that he's had. He's had that good of a season.
Very
He could
good
be
year.
in contention. Having said that, Sean Darcy, I tell you what,
Yeah, you just stole my
fuck
thunder.
me, honestly.
Fucking hell.
I'm interested in what Swizz has to say.
I am interested because I tell you what, he's
There you go, Swizz.
he knew I was going to say Sean Darcy then. Love him.
He knows I'm cutting him off.
No, Sean Chris can continue on him, mate. But he was awesome. The problem was he could have been even somebody we could have looked at, but he missed. He didn't get picked in that first round, or was injured the first couple rounds. So that fucked any opportunity to select him. The other one that was really interesting was Ben Keys.
He was very underrated.
With Matt Crouch out, he just fucking carved up. And anybody that had him in the grand final, where he went, 173, of happy fucking days.
You know who wasn't interesting? Just like anti this chat. Sam Walsh, guys, because I totally picked him for 115 plus, and he averaged 117. And I just want to call out every single one of those motherfuckers who said that there's no way that he's averaging that, because I picked it.
I did say he'd have a good year.
But I said 115 plus,
and I said 110.
and I was strong on it.
I said 110. Yeah. I know he had a great year. His rise contributed with Cripps's fall and Cripps's injury.
Now this leads into our next segment a little bit.
If there was peak Cripps, there wouldn't be peak Walsh this year.
Here's what I'm saying.
Maybe.
Do you pick Walsh next year? Is Walsh a guy that can average 120 plus? Because his off games are off.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between Walsh and off Walsh.
Okay.
I'm not happy with it.
Well, here's the thing, though. His ceiling is absolutely ridiculous.
His ceiling is crazy.
Yeah, but if you're going for, not for overall he's still decent enough because they balance out. But if you're going for league wins, his on games and his ceiling is absolutely ridiculous. I think he's starting to get a bit more attention, though. So whether you see a bit of an off year before he works through those tags a little bit could be interesting. But he's a beast. He's going to be an all-star.
Well, Swizz, tell me this. Are you starting him next season?
I'm on the fence about him at the moment.
I don't think I am. I think I'll wait for a downy
as well. I'm
I think
on
I'll
the
wait.
fence.
I think I'm off him. I'm going to wait until he drops.
And the reason I'm on the fence, it depends on, firstly, Cripps and how he's pulled up through preseason and who they bring in.
I completely agree with you.
Yep.
And that kind of leads us to our next segment. So this is probably going to be a little bit long-winded, and I'll be honest and say that.
Hopefully not.
But we're looking to next season now. We're looking, okay, scrap this fucking season. Melbourne win the premiership. Sorry, Tenacious. And and we say
You just backflipped on your Bulldogs.
Bulldogs in the premiership. But let's look at next season. Let's look at some players of interest. I've got about literally 40 players written down here that I want to be interested in. Let's go with Swizz.
How about you? Okay, Swizz with people he's targeting, me with some that target. Then you rattle off those, and we say a quick yes or no to contribute.
Okay. So I'll
Swizz, who have you got?
So
We'll start with Swizz.
Number one, just because depending on where he moves, but it's got to be Dawson at the moment.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if Dawson moves somewhere and has a good role, I think Dawson.
Here's the thing, though. He's actually expensive as fuck.
Yeah, he is.
He's
So
not cheap.
you're hoping for some natural gain. It's a hard one because Dawson has been great. He could be someone that absolutely peaks and goes next level, but he could also fizzle out to do a team role kind of thing.
Here's the problem with Dawson. Sorry to cut you off, Swizz.
Yep.
He's not sorry.
Where he goes does not necessarily determine that he plays halfback, which is where he scores his best football. He could play half forward. He could play wherever the fuck else.
I'm good for now.
And that is a really big
and
question.
He is connected to two other players I'm looking at. Now, firstly, Jake Lloyd is just an absolute lock with him.
Absolutely.
With him gone. And the second one, it depends where he goes. If he goes to Port Adelaide, there is rumours that Dawson either goes to halfback flank or the wing, and that either frees up Amon or Houston to play on the ball, like full time on the ball.
Well, let's talk about Houston because I fucking am done with that guy. And he's on my burn list.
That means everyone watch out. Houston's going big.
Houston's going big.
I tell you what, never again. 2 years in a row, I've gone for Houston. And look, he has the potential to score absolutely fucking massive. But more often than not, he does not get involved in contested ball. He gets injured. And when there is a need in the team, he does that role. So he's converted to a tagger. He's converted to a lockdown defender. He's converted to an open man. And there's no way to defend, to understand what his role is from a week-to-week perspective. He is Port Adelaide's Mr. Fix-It. And that is an issue for Supercoach. You can't rely on his scoring every single week. That's my biggest problem.
Do you know what's an issue? Bradley Hill got equal fifth in the St Kilda best and fairest. What the fuck?
That's a fucking issue.
That's an issue.
He
did nothing
all season.
Yeah, he came equal with Brad Crouch, who I think was better than it. Seb Ross came seventh. You know you're having issues when Seb Ross is coming seventh in your
half the season?
I don't know. He missed a couple. Max King got 10th. My God, Dougal Howard. Yeah, he had a good year though. Dougal Howard I'll rate.
Yeah,
Jimmy Webster 9th.
Wow, did half their players not show up?
God, Memory got third.
I'd love to see how many games they played. I don't think Jimmy Webster only played half a season.
Man, Wilkie got fourth. That's an issue. That's an issue.
Max King got 10th.
Yeah. Thanks, Binger. My God.
Binger, thanks for coming with the...
I just looked at that. I was like, hang on, Bradley Hill got equal fifth. That is not right. Okay, let's start rattling off. Actually, no, for me, looking at for next year. Now, I think Witherden, he's going to be still expensive, but with Hearn out, with anytime he has a favourable role, I'm not saying Witherden's a great player. He's a great Supercoach player. There's a difference. I mean, Crisp has done well. So Witherden is definitely one to look for me.
Crisp is a fucking good player.
You have shitted on, or actually, no, that's bad English, shat on Crisp for more years than I can remember.
I have. And I'm recanting.
This year, he was actually pretty good. All right.
I'm recanting on this year.
Witherden, I'm looking at, not for standard, but for draft leagues, yes. I'm for standard and above. I'm actually looking at, I can't remember his name, St Kilda defender, got his jaw broken. Boys, Swizz.
Hunter Clark.
Hunter Clark. I'd be considering Hunter Clark at a discounted price. I think he's close to 300, so I'd be considering that.
No, he'll be a little bit higher than that based on his average. That is someone that I've got there listed. Here's the thing with Hunter Clark, and the problem with St Kilda in general, and I'll expand the chat, whatever.
Block your ears, Binger.
Literally, this is the problem with St Kilda. They have 17,000 midfielders and they don't have defined roles. They have a guy called Hunter Clark who's arguably in their best three midfielders. And I would say when it's not arguable, personally. I think he's in their best three midfielders. They're playing him off a halfback flank because he's decent at halfback flank.
And got a decent foot and decent speed and decent smarts.
And they've got fucking 17 midfielders that also want midfield time. They've got Zach Jones. They've got Dan Hanbury that apparently has signed a new contract for fucking whatever knows reason.
Is he getting paid on a game by game basis?
No. He actually reduced his contract base to continue with the Saints.
Well, of course he has to reduce his base because it's all about that base, no treble.
Because I'm all about that base, about that base.
No treble.
Yeah. They have obviously they've got Jack Steele. They've got a fantastic midfield, but really Hunter Clark should be in that best three, in my opinion. My personal opinion, that's it. You can get anyone you can't get anyone to play halfback. That's a fucking lie. But I mean, they fucking got rid of Nick Hind. So fucking hell. Hunter Clark should be playing midfield. Done. If he gets midfield minutes next season, he's a fucking lock.
He's someone that's got talent and you've seen glimpses of talent, but you're just waiting for that role to kind of come into the fold. Yeah, for sure.
But he's a guy on your watch list.
All right, let's go. Let's start hitting off these lists here, Chris, and we'll say yes or no. So Swizz, then me, then you. Let's hit it. Next year.
Right. Swizz, Lockie Neal.
Yes.
Yes, I'm going there.
Done. Sold.
What are you doing?
Tragic. I can't make an argument against Lockie Neal next year.
Fair call. Lockie Neal.
Sean Darcy.
Yes.
No, because I'm playing different strats.
Oh, you're going Bruce.
Grundy, Bruce. That's my general thoughts.
Bruce.
But
I'm out of Grundy next year.
I don't know. We'll see. It could be, but I think Bruce with some other ruck options. I think with a lot of the other young players coming through.
I'm actually thinking Darcy Bruce.
Interesting. I can't fault it. Depending on preseason, I could swing to Darcy. I'm not off Darcy, but if I'm only picking two, it's hard to pick Darcy as number one.
Talk me out of Darcy Bruce.
Darcy Bruce?
Yeah,
no, I can't take this bucket. I can't. I don't think I can talk you out of it.
I knew you'd be on my side. You little
The only way I talk you out of it if Bruce doesn't get through the fucking preseason, which is highly likely.
Yeah, well, let's not talk about that. Hey, we're on a positive side of things, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Aaron Hall.
In defense.
Well, obviously, he's going to be fucking
Swizz first.
Is he D1 next year?
Oh.
Swizz, you go.
It's that's a real fence one. At the moment, it depends on who else I have and how much cash I've got left.
No, you're already talking about Lloyd. Lloyd's locked in, right? But Lloyd's probably not averaging as much as Hall. Is that right?
If Dawson's not there, no, he averages the highest next year.
Yeah, so Lloyd aside.
And he's probably underpriced by, 5-10 points a game?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just yes or no, Swizz. Don't make this complicated.
Okay. I'm gonna go yes for Aaron Hall at the moment.
Yes for Aaron Hall. So what are you doing about Zeeble?
No to Zeeble.
No to Zeeble.
I'm going fuck no to both of them. Aaron Hall, I am doubling down.
Oh, we're going to one.
I am doubling down. Aaron Hall, no. Zeeble, no.
Aaron Hall has Josh Dunkley of this year written all over him.
I don't care. He could have.
Enjoy my first 6 weeks at 120.
Aaron Hall could have literally rolled gold all over his Johnson, and I would still not touch that prick. I'll tell you what.
I would because
did you see that double meaning?
Double
meaning. Gold won't touch his prick. Yeah, Johnson. Yeah, thank you.
Good.
Thank you. No, I'm doubling down. It's Dane Rampy syndrome. He's not going to back it up, boys. Literally.
Now, I'm gonna include two people here. All right, so I want you to comment on both. Swizz, you're up first. Chera, Sarong, how does it work? What happens?
What do you mean?
If Chera goes to Melbourne, then no. If Chera goes to Carlton, I'm kind of tempted, but then players go to Carlton to die for their careers to die, so actually no. Sarong, yeah, you would think Sarong would get that midfield time, so it's a no because of his price. but it's one of those ones in draft I'm definitely trying to get shares of.
It's one of those ones where you can see a breakout happening, but he's more expensive than your sort of average mid-price of your 350K. He's going to be like 450K, right?
It's simple. It's a no and a yes and a yes. When you look at standard is a no, and for draft, it's a yes. That's it. Move on.
No, I think... Look,
there's no standard in it. You are not picking that breakout.
Ben,
fuck that.
Ben,
Okay, I want to have my minute.
Yep.
All right?
Yeah, you go, Chris, because you're wrong on that, Ben.
So Sarong, to me, is an absolute super coach fucking gold mine that has not been tapped yet.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He ain't tapping it next year.
I think if Chera goes, he gets all that midfield time. And I think he goes nuts.
Chera was kind of even split.
Nuts.
Chera was split midfield. I don't think he's like pure.
But if you look at Sarong's history, if you look at his junior days, if you look at the way that he plays the game, he's an accumulator, right?
Well, some of us will be Sarong and some will be Sarat.
Here we go again.
I do like Sarong. I'm thinking I'm not spending his money next year. That's it.
Depending on where. Okay, so I'm currently a tick on Sarong. Swizz?
I'll explain why, Swizz, after you.
Well, my argument more towards Ben is to do with the draft side of things. Chera's a no in draft because if he goes to, say, Carlton, people are going to take him too early than I'm willing to pay.
Oh, I meant like as in his value, not that I'll pick him at what other people would go.
But why is he going to
nobody thinks about Fremantle players, so Sarong's the sort of guy that you could pick up on. Like, he's not going to pick up late, but you're going to you can still probably get value.
It makes sense.
Can I just say then, the reason... I've lost my train of thought.
The reason you've lost your train of thought is because you haven't enough alcohol.
It's definitely possible.
Yeah, get a fucking drink in here, Ben.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next one. So Adam Sard averaged 82 this year. What did he average? Anyone got that?
Nah, either way, it's a no and a no for me.
It's a no, definitely no.
It's a hard no on Adam Sard.
Yep.
All right.
It's a hard no.
Hard no. All right, Jordan De Goey.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one. Good one.
Hey, I'm not here to fuck spiders, mate. I'm here to provide content. All right, content.
Not here to fuck spiders is one of the great sayings. Yeah, actually, I'm tempted. Hey, what are they? Is he still forward mid?
Nah.
He probably would be.
I reckon he might make the cut. Now that is a very, very important consideration.
If he's forward mid, let's go with that.
Let's say he is forward.
Chris, we're right here.
I know. Let's say he is.
If he's a forward mid, I'm saying possibly yes. I'm tempted. I don't like it, but I'm definitely tempted with his backhand swing. Swizz, if he's forward,
he only averaged. Here's the thing. He only averaged 85 for the season. Which means how's going to be 450?
But how shit are the forwards? You look at Hall, you look at Zeeble. They're now defense, right? It's Marshall, English. I guess. It is hard though because you have Duncan possibly coming in, Fife possibly coming in, Danger possibly staying, Dunkley possibly staying. It's kind of hard to start someone like De Goey.
No, you always need.
It's hard to start someone like De Goey.
Back me up, Swizz. You always need that sort of 400 to 450 player, you know, that one that's going to break out.
I don't think this is the year. That was my argument with Sarong, actually. That was my argument with Sarong.
What's Pendle's next year, like 34?
Yep. Well, what's McRae doing? All right. So let's take another step back and say, if you've had any idea about what's happening in the AFL landscape this week, it's all been really Collingwood positive about Craig McRae and Justin Lebich. By the way, Brendan Bolton, arguably the best coach lineup that's happened. Since Alistair Clarkson combined all those guys?
Come on. You are way too early on counting your chickens. Now, can I say it's next year, right? We've got young talent that are already going to be costing $200,000. It's not the time to be picking up a Sarong at an expensive price. It's literally in the midfield. It's going to be premiums. It's going to be expensive rookies and cheap ass rookies. Well, there's no $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 midfielders on offer next year because you are spending $200,000 on rookies on at least one or two.
Yep,
that's what's happening. So there's no point in Sarongs and your Cheras of the world because you're not going to have room for them next year, boys.
I can understand that in your starting lineup, but I want to keep an eye on them.
Oh, yeah. Well, if they start breaking out, then it's like anything. You start maybe pick them up like around the buys like you would in Aaron Hall, so to speak.
Wow.
All right, who's next?
All right, on to the next one.
Oh, Bolton.
Shea Bolton. Oh, tell us what's happening next year, Swizz.
No.
No.
I would be more comfortable in picking DeGoey than I think I'd be picking Bolton.
I think Chris has just taken off to go to the toilet.
Chris has had a
ladies
fucking
and-
nut.
Mate, he literally just poured. He just poured. So he actually sculled probably about 2.5 nips of the 18-year-old, and then he's poured himself another one, which he's nearly gone through. Now I'm sipping it because you're meant to sip 18-year-old whiskey. And I think he's just started necking it. And you know what's funny when your partner starts being like, there's a baby asleep upstairs. And I was just like, literally 2 words. I was like, drunk Chris is all that's happening. I think it's an all-round all-no for Bolton. Patrick Cripps, though, is an interesting one, though, Swizz. Paddy Cripps, he has to be highly, highly, highly discounted. Are you looking at him considering the heartache he has caused this year?
He was highly discounted this year and I didn't go near him.
But he will be even more discounted next year, which is stupid.
I still don't think I go near him. And I just can't trust his body anymore. Like, poor bloke, he's looking 26, 27. He's already beaten up, like most players who have played for like 15 years, carrying that team. So I just can't do it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're just talking about Patrick Cripps. We're talking about if Patrick Cripps, how discounted does he have to be in order for you to pick him?
There's just no chance. There's no way that I can do it without absolute solid preseason.
You're right there, mate.
Sorry, mate.
Fucking making a mess.
Honestly, with Patrick Cripps, I just don't think I can bring myself to do it because I just don't think he's the best midfielder at Carlton anymore.
Yeah. If he's not the best midfielder, why are you picking him in your starting squad?
Well, the only way is if he comes out I don't know how the preseason is going to be structured next year. That's one thing that we should also consider. What last year we had one game? How many games did we have to?
I don't know. We had one because of COVID. I think it was one game into the season, and it was either you pick Lockie Nil or you don't.
I'm not going one game on Cripps, but if he has 2-3 games of like 120 plus, then I don't think
it's possible. And he's a sucker. Like if he starts looking actually promising and getting around,
but
and
how cheap is he?
I don't know. He's going to be. Look, what's Brycey got to say? I think he's like. Is he mid threes or is he fours? What's he?
No.
He'd be
I was actually looking at it a moment ago.
Surely, what was he this year? He was like 500 flat, wasn't he? And everyone was like, "Oh, great value."
I mean, he is great value. Let's check out Bryce. Okay, so let's just go on the year that we've had this year. We've had a record number of midfielders that have averaged.
And we thought midfielders were overpriced. That's so funny, hey, because we're like, all the midfielders are overpriced.
So where does
maybe it's a trend?
Ben,
M5?
Ben,
yes,
449.
449. Okay, so that's tempting.
Binger Carroll. Thanks very much.
And Binger and
so
Swizzy run it.
Okay, so let's say you've got 80k in your bank and you go to fucking Lockie Neal at 530k.
Swizz with the burn on his chat. When you left, Swizz said too much talk about 18-year-olds. You went to check your your Tinder.
I did.
Swizz.
So you know,
why didn't you put that on air,
Tinder.
Swizz, mate? You save that for the chat?
Tinder's not my jam, all right?
What is it like?
Hinge or Bumble, mate?
Hinge or Bumble? Is that like the
don't-
grandma version? Or
No, Hinge is like they're both new dating apps.
off your Hinge? Or what's Bumble then?
the
Bumble's like the
person-
bee goes from hive to hive,
This is a completely random.
spreading the nectar.
But the person who
Ben,
designed Bumble.
Ben and
used to
Chris,
work
I'll
for
throw-
Tinder.
Yeah, go
Ben
Swizz.
and Chris, I'll throw this one at you. Cripps is 449, DeGoey 458. Who would you prefer?
To go forward line, done. But if to go is midfield only, no.
No.
I don't like both. It's hard, hey.
'Cause, you can only go one probably at that price.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And probably Degoe based on his backhand form.
Now,
No one likes a dud.
what happens with Adam Chera? That's the first question. And the second question is, if he goes to Carlton, or what team would he need to go to in order for you to pick him?
Chris, this is a yes or no segment. I don't know how the fuck you have sabotaged this into
No,
an
no,
extended response.
I
this is
just-
not an extended response.
I want to know.
We've already spoken about Chera.
No,
Swizz
but-
said if he goes to Carlton, then probably no because he's splitting all the points. I don't know where does he have to go? Swizz, where does he have to go in order for Chera to be an actual standard option?
Well, there's 10 fucking teams in Melbourne. Man.
Probably
Oh,
Richmond, because with Richmond, because we need a midfielder.
Yeah, that's actually fair.
true.
No, that's actually fair.
If he goes there, there's actually a massive chance. And you know
Yeah, because
what?
Cochin's out for sure.
You know what's great about Chera? He doesn't need
Out
a
of
lot of
captaincy.
possessions to score really well because he's so accurate by foot. So with his possessions, he actually uses it really well. That's the difference between him and Sarong. Anyway,
He looks good, but I'm pretty sure that cherry or that Chera's just not quite ripe yet, boys.
it might not be.
He's just dangling that string
He's one that you watch during the season. He's not one that you necessarily start
and
with.
see if he's ripe. All right, what's next?
Fife.
Ooh,
Now, probably moving forward, right?
a forward
Has
five.
to move forward.
He'd be cheap too.
I know, he's not that cheap. He's like 550K.
No, 539.
He's not cheap.
539. I'm taking five at 539.
In the forward line.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
You know why you have to take him?
Because Chera's going.
No, it's not even that. It's honestly that the Freo are on a path right now, and they have been for the last 3-4 years, of actually trying to get to a premiership. And I think this year or next year will be the year that they actually do it, right? So the only way that they're going to do that with Fife in the team is if he plays midfield. And he does that whole midfield and then swings forward, Sitcho, that he does really, really well. Now, when he does that, he averages really well. If he's only playing forward, it's not going to work. It's not going to work for Freo. It's not going to work for his Supercoach scoring. But that's kind of why I feel like he's a absolute fucking lock. At 539K, a guy that can be the potential number one Supercoach player if he doesn't get injured, which he probably will at some point. 539K, I'm kind of okay with taking the risk and going, yeah, he's going to be the guy. What do you think, Swizz?
All depends on his preseason.
Absolutely.
All depends on that. That if he looks fit, well, that's the thing you talk about, like Cripps and that Fife every day of the week over him because you know what he can deliver. But it's all if he even looks like having a friggin' niggle, then I'll stay away from him. But if he gets through, I'll forward, and that's if he's a forward. If he's a midfield,
if he's a midfielder, I don't think it's a question. Now, having said that, I'm gonna flip you to another guy here that is in the same bracket, Dangerfield. Average, he's lowest for the last 7-8 seasons. Averaged 104. He's probably going to be around the same price now as Fife.
He's 560. The thing with my theory with Dangerfield is the exact same with Dusty. I don't start them. Or try not to start them if I can.
Oh, Danger's such a fucking minefield, right? Like, so here's my problem with Danger, right? Is that he's got to have those games. He's going to fucking burn the shit out of you. If you don't have Danger that game, you're not winning that week. You're not going close. You're not raising rank that week because other people will have Danger and they will fucking destroy you. But can you afford to have both Danger and Fife in a forward line, both around the same price, 565? Like that's 1.1 million on 2 forwards. That's a shitload of salary cap, and that is an issue moving forward. But I mean, look, forwards have always been the issue in Supercoach, so it's neither here nor there. Let's move on to the next player. Obviously, Ben's still not here because he's a little bitch. Luke Jackson, yes or no? What are we doing with Luke Jackson?
No.
No at all. No flat?
No flat. 385. Still going to be sharing the ruck.
Big Reese.
No. Do you? Okay. And this is probably should tie in with Max Gawn, right? So you're a big no on Max Gawn this year as well.
I am.
Absolutely.
Because
next year, big no for Maxi.
You know what? Gawn is a big yes the following year because there's a chance that he could pick up ruck forward the following year. Because I think Gawn, as it's shown in the finals, Melbourne can play him more and more from the forward line as Jackson continues to develop. So I think next year you'll see probably could be the year they both go 50-50 in the ruck.
Well, that ruck time definitely did start to change as the season went on. I think it was a little while ago when I actually went on and picked, I think it was Jackson. I think it was about $8, I think, for the Rising Star. And that was the 1 week where he started to actually split the ruck time with Maxi. So I think Maxi's definitely a big no. But I love what Melbourne are doing because that's what you want, right? As a team, you don't want to be over-reliant.
I'm a bit torn on the Max Gawn, Luke Jackson debate. There is a enormous amount of talent in Luke Jackson, and I cannot understand why they drafted him in the first place, to be honest.
Why? He's great.
No. That's not a debate. The debate's not, is Luke Jackson great? Is he shit? No. He's fantastic. That is not a question. My question is why they did fucking draft him when they had Max Gawn sitting there as the best ruckman in the competition, when he was clearly the best up-and-coming ruckman. Now, I know there's a transition phase happening, and I know that Melbourne have gone really well this year, and part of the reason is that they had a great backup ruckman in Luke Jackson. But I can just imagine like them getting... Who was available at the draft?
I think it was Anderson was 2, Rail was 1.
Oh,
so 1, 2, yeah. So Jackson was after that.
So
who is
4?
there?
Taron Thomas was 4, wasn't he?
Nah, Taron Thomas is old.
No,
He's old as fuck.
I did have that.
Who's 4, 5, and 6? Like,
Just give me 10 seconds here, mate.
Yeah, so
Maybe move that way.
I just kind of feel like that. I don't.
It was. Hang on. So I've got it here. We've got. We've gone Rel, Anderson, Jackson, Lockie Ash went at 4.
Oh, Lucky
Yeah.
Ash. Fucking brilliant.
Dylan Stevens at 5.
Nah,
Yeah.
fuck him.
Fisher Mackesy at 6.
Nah, not gonna.
And then you had Young, Sarong, Henry.
Oh, Young.
Yeah, Young. Yeah, but
Young,
Young's a defender.
Sarong.
Young's not going third. Jackson's
Young
going to
and
be...
Sarong.
Jackson, they picked him because Jackson can play forward. They still do need that forward presence. So, anyway, go next. Jackson's still a no at this point in time. I think he'll be a yes in the future years once he gets solo.
Jackson's a potential, but based on my changes that
This needs to quicken up. Let's go.
it's
Yeah,
not.
but the thing,
Yes or no?
Angus
Maxi
Brayshaw.
Gordon-
What's happening with Angus Brayshaw and what is... He averaged 64.5 this year. What's happening with Angus? Is he going to be another Supercoach guy that you come to this year?
Angus Brayshaw, possibly, if they can convince him to move part of the Chera deal. Because the only way they're getting Chera, if they move Brayshaw...
I absolutely 100% agree.
Either way, I'm picking no for
If he
Brayshaw.
goes there, is he playing pure midfield?
Well, where else? Unless they play him on the wing.
Well, no, I don't think that there's any chance of him playing anywhere other than the midfield if he goes to Freo.
Yeah, exactly.
Georgie Hewitt.
Yeah.
What happens with George Hewitt?
No, why you keep picking these obscure shit picks for,
Because
for
these are
standard?
No, these are standard picks.
Nah, Hewitt's not being a standard. He's not standard
Are you
relevant.
kidding? He's prepared.
Where is he? Midfield, forward? Where's he playing?
You know what? I will acknowledge Chris's thing about George Hewitt because there was a couple of those seasons where Ed Curnow went friggin' ham.
Yep.
And they want Hewitt to come in and play that Ed Curnow role.
Ed Kerner went ham,
No,
and then
no.
Chris picked him up, and then he dropped off a
No.
fucking cliff. That's what
No
happened.
to all of you. George Hewitt's way better than a fucking tagging role. Way better. He just has never had the role to actually be an exclusive midfielder.
How'd it go?
I feel like
How'd it
he's
go?
like Took fucking Miller.
Nah.
Waiting to be there, that guy.
Mate, you've been big on him. I picked him up this year off draft,
Dude,
and he did nothing.
George Hewitt is going places. If he gets traded, you fucking watch, and I will fucking repeat this exact segment. I'll cut it.
Let's take
I'll
an over
fucking
and
shred
under.
it up.
Over or under?
I'll give it to you
Uh-huh.
in a nice little package, and I'll say, look, hey, George Hewitt.
Over or under?
After that,
Over or under 90.
I don't.
New club?
Too early to tell.
Oh, bullshit. See, look at this pussy.
Well, it depends on what club.
I don't know. I
me
don't
the
know.
club.
I'm saying over under 90.
Yeah,
You're saying
well,
he's got all the potential in the world. He's a midfielder. He's a midfielder.
Let's revisit.
He's a midfielder that's relevant apparently, and you're saying you can't even get over 90? He's not fucking relevant then.
I don't think he's even going to be.
I'm literally giving you an over-under of 90, and you're saying he's relevant, yet you won't actually say he's going over 90 average.
No, I don't think he's even going to be classified as a midfield next year.
Oh, well, either way, still 90 is not actually top 10 defender or forward status, which is
Doesn't
still,
matter. I don't need
you're
him to be.
wasting our
I'm
time.
making cash, bruh.
You're wasting our time on a
all
hype.
all I'm saying is, if he goes to Carlton, he could be that 90 to 100 guy like Kurnow did.
If he
you're
goes to
saying-
Carlton, man, he's going to average 105 guaranteed bang.
Okay, so over under 90, Chris.
I don't know. He hasn't
There you
traded yet.
go.
Calm down.
Bullshit.
Got to wait until you see where
Pussy.
he goes.
Our bets will come in later. All right. Our
Pussy.
bets- Hey, I'm not
Pussy.
an idiot that
Pussy.
loses 3 bets in a year, mate. I'm not that guy.
Pussy.
All right, moving on to the next. Connor Rosie, what's happening with him?
Why are you yelling?
Oh, fucking hell. Rosie.
Tell me what's happening because honestly,
Is he? He
I
has
do
to be
it.
cheap.
he's going to be super
Has to be
I
cheap.
feel, you got to feel for him because fucking Kane Corns lips off his mouth every chance he gets about how good Rosie is.
He
And then
averaged
the poor
73.5
bloke-
last year, so he's going to be
The poor
fucking
boy
cheap.
plays shit, and then that's him done because everyone just gets into him because of fucking what Corns has said. Now, what the fuck's Rosie at? What the fuck's Rosie gone here?
I'm interested in Rosie. I'm interested
I'm very interested.
in...
He's going to be forward only. He's going to be forward only.
who's the Robin Hood? Dersma. Dersma as well.
395.
Oh, that's awkward.
No,
Man,
an awkward
395.
drive.
That's so awkward.
Okay, so here's what we know. What we know is this, and this
It's
is
awkward.
said by Ken Hinkley himself, is that he said that they wanted to get Rosie into the midfield this year, but they couldn't because of his injury. That is
So he's injury prone.
Yeah.
Your words.
okay.
Your words.
He's had an injury this year. He's had an injury last. I get it, but what that says, the Port Adelaide Football Club do want Connor Rosie to be playing pure midfield.
Haven't they said that about De Goey for many years?
Well,
Who else?
the problem, Chris, with this is, as much as you can see Boak probably spending less time in the midfield, they've also got a bloke named Zach Butters.
And Dersma.
Zach
William-
Butters
hey,
is on
hey,
the
hey,
list.
you wait your turn.
William Drew has played 22 games in the Guts
Fuck
this year.
that guy.
Tagging.
He's
He should have
fucking,
been
but he
starting.
does.
No, he's not going to be
And
playing this
then,
year.
if
Trust me.
Dawson comes in, either Amon or Houston will spend time in that midfield. So I don't think it's as easy as Rosie goes in
No,
there.
I get it. I get it.
Drew is better than you give him credit for, Chris, because they actually should have started him on Libba, but did not and got flogged to start the game.
Well,
They should have
it was
because
the easiest
yeah,
move. and they
that's
didn't
what
do
I
it.
mean. Hey,
the dumbest mistake in the world
Why are you yelling?
is not taking Liberatory. So
Man, I got a baby asleep. You want to wake her up? I will fuck your shit up.
you will. All right. Here's what I want to say about Connor Rosie, and this is where I'll finish my argument, is that
Yes.
they need X factor through that midfield. Now they do have that, obviously, with Zach Butters there,
Dersma.
but Ollie Wines, Travis Boak, who's on the way out.
They're all one paced.
Right. So whether it's Connor Rosie and he plays half, forward / man, I still feel like he will average 90 plus. Now that is a very, very, very good average for a guy that is averaging right now 73.5. And I'm not sure what he's going to be priced at, but I would take a gamble.
Who?
I would take a gamble right now, and I'll take this on you, that if Connor Rosie does not get injured in the preseason, he will average 95 plus. And any one of you guys, I'll take that bet right fucking now. Now that is.
But
on
hang
the
on,
proviso.
you've added a precursor.
On the
He
proviso.
could have like a little strain,
there's a
miss 1 week of the
precursor.
preseason, and Chris would be like, "Oh, but he missed the 1 week of preseason, doesn't count."
I say if he has a clear preseason.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone with a clear preseason as a forward could go 95 plus. That's not anything specific.
don't
That's
fuck
it's
with
not
me.
rocket science,
I'm
Chris.
talking about one specific
Yeah,
guy.
and you
wanna
say
fucking go me now.
if he
I'm
misses
saying.
1 week with a mild stomach cramp, you'll be like, "Oh, but he didn't have the whole preseason." That's a shit bet. That's a
true.
losing bet.
Excuse me, Samwise Gamgee, but up in the corner, what are you thinking, Swizz?
For the Rosie bet, as I said, I'm not convinced.
Don't buy into it,
This
Swizz.
sort of bet,
He's a
I
con
need
artist.
to see what they do in this trade period.
Chris wants a
because that's
full
gonna-
preseason to have a bet that's
Well,
actually live.
Tell me what you think about Butters then. He'll probably be
I
mid-only,
rate Butters highly.
but as a mid-only, and I don't even know what price is going to be, maybe 350k?
But
Again.
Butters is 438. But I'm not touching him at that price. But I just rate him better as a footballer.
And I'm okay. So he's okay. So as a footballer, as a pure football fan, his one touch ability is like out of this fucking world. I haven't seen many like Zach Butters when he gets the ball.
I don't know about you, Chris, but I'm more of a 3 to 4 touch man. One touch ain't gonna do it.
Holy shit! He's my best. He's my best friend, and he's just here to fucking make jokes. All right, let's go with Lockie Whitfield, guys.
That's a good one.
What's happening with Lockie Whitfield? It's going to be cheap. He only averaged 90. What do you average this season?
As a defender, yeah, because he was.
Well, he's clearly going to be defender only or defender mid.
Swizz, what do you reckon?
And he averaged 92.3, which is fairly unders, like a guy that can average, 110?
Absolutely can. Gun should nearly be your first pick. And it'll be 496.
496.
The only issue with Whitfield's always the same thing. It's his friggin' injury concern. Does not play 22 games.
Okay, so why pick him then? What's the positive?
Upside.
At his price, there's upside there.
Right,
no, he averaged not yet. 496. You know, he's the sort of player that can get on a run and go get to 600k.
For me, it depends. Number one, on that preseason, if he has an uninterrupted run. The concern for me is twofold. Number one, he's been knocked out, twice the last 2 seasons, and considering that the knockout is actually a pretty decent issue at this point in time. The second one is when
the
you
first knockout was at Lambert's house, right?
No, that's where he went to hide from the knockout.
So it's still funny.
It's still good. But the other one is Lachlan Ash. Can't you read, bro? You're fucking leaning over me.
No, I can't read that part.
The second part is the emergence of Ash and Cumming. I think,
Cumming.
yeah. So even though we'd like to consider them obscure and obsolete, it's still going to impact the potential.
Not obsolete. Lockie Ash,
they are good.
Fucking jet. I've actually got him.
And Cumming as well. We actually said at the start of the year, we're like, is he coming or going? And we both underrated what those boys would bring, and they both stepped up massively this year.
I think a big failing for
Cumming
a
for
lot
sure
of super coaches this year is the underestimation of Cumming.
Yeah. The build up was strong.
The build up was strong. I wish I was coming.
I wish I was on that one for takeoff.
That's actually probably one we should have included in the people that we should have had.
Is it coming or going?
Had we have had him in a starting lineup, I tell you what, the points gained from him for the season, you could have held him as a keeper really for the whole season and be completely fine with him at D6. Moving on, I think I will say this, Swizz, and I think you're on the same page with Whitfield, is that at the end of the day, yes, if he's absolutely healthy, but question marks if he's not, right?
Yep.
And we know we're in trouble when Chris starts to slur.
All right, now we've got Dangerfield.
How did you take over with? Okay, because you got the list. Is that why?
I got the list.
You got the list. Swizz, Lord help us. Let's
You've
go.
been pumped, Ben.
Dangerfield. He averaged the lowest. Oh my
Shit.
god! Who are you?
You said
Wait, just for
Dangerfield.
people playing at home, show this. Show this.
You can't show this.
Show the fans. Ben's just fucking spilt his entire fucking drink on his own keyboard.
I called Chris drunk. I was going for the danger comments.
All right. Well, whatever he's done, we're still recording. Dangerfield averaged 104 for the year. He's likely going to be. Do you think he still retains forward status? That's the first question. And second of all, if he doesn't, there's no way you can start him, right?
I'm not touching Dangerfield if he's not a forward.
No, absolutely. All right. Easy establishment.
Didn't we talk about him before? Didn't I say I don't touch Guy? I'd try not to start Danger and Dusty.
Yeah. Guys that just
They always drop cash. They always drop.
Oh, fuck. I got to talk about my fucking captain choice in the last round of the season. I fucking completely cooked that. All right. Another guy that is very popular and is breakout potential. Huge breakout potential.
Danger's my middle name.
That's what I was going for.
Tom Green. Swizz, tell me where you're at.
Tom Green. Oh, no. My issue with Tom Green is that GWS midfield. Same frigate. Like, what's Tom Green? 420 next year?
Yeah. Where does he get in? Where's the availability?
Yeah, that's it. They still have so many guys that run through that friggin' midfield. But the problem
Just
is
sign Jacob
he can only play there. But Kelly, Hopper, Ward's still on there. Green, Perryman plays more wing. Taranto, there's somebody else in there that they want to give fucking games to. And
so many pure midfielders. And you know where I kind of feel like Tom Green is? I kind of feel like Tom Green is Darcy Parish. Like the guy that should be playing fucking midfield and should be scoring really well for Supercoach.
That'll be it. He'll get 100 games into him playing friggin' mostly like half forward, and everyone will be like, "This guy was. How did they take him so high?" And blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then he'll finally move in the midfield and he'll just dominate.
Like what the fuck? Like it actually concerns me integrity. Like because. And, you know, everyone's looked at the stats and you watch fucking On the Couch and you watch fucking AFL 360 and they tell you that Tom Green is the best clearance player for the GWS Giants and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's cool, man. But, like, that's cool when they're tapping to him. And so what people don't realize is that midfield setups are very, like, there's three positions there. There's one defensive midfielder. There's someone else who's there for the bailout, and there's one person that's on the attacking run. So when Tom Green gets the fucking ball, it's not necessarily because he's the best fucking clearance player there. It's because he's the one that's designed for that role. It's the one that they're tapping to. It's the one that he's in the right position for, because that is how he's played his football through his entire junior and senior career. So I love Tom Green. There is a time where Tom Green will be a premium. It's just, to me, it's not next year. And if it does happen, you will obviously transition to it, but it's just not going to be in my starting side.
You know what I love, boys? Dropping liquid over $1,500 worth of equipment. It's great.
I'm glad you didn't get all
I was trying to hit the Danger's my middle name button, and I didn't realize there was a drink right in front of my hand. Yeah, literally, I overreached.
And while you're
thanks, Binger.
While you're talking about Danger, should we talk about Dunkley?
Oh, Dunkley is a no based on how shit he actually.
No.
Peak Dunkley's a yes, but how he came back after injury, I think you have to more look for him as an upgrade. You can't start with Trelaw and everything else and Bailey Smith coming in.
But he's going to be... Well,
but the issue is...
Can you get Dunkley price?
Mate, the money's up here. Binger's been throwing out shade. Here you go. Wait. Pies, Bombers, Dockers, Saints, Blues, Giants. Where are the doggies, Binger?
The thing with Dunkley is they had to play him in the midfield at the start of the year because...
643K. You're starting Dunkley at 643K.
No, Dunkley's 551. You'll be.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm looking left to right. No. Right, my bad. 551 Dunkley, right.
Yeah, so Dunkley 551. But the problem is they played him pure mid early on, and he's great at it, but because they decided trying to keep him happy after he tried to walk out. But then...
He'll be happy after next week, am I right?
Like that and playing the other role. It'll be a different story next year, I think, and that they'll they've got other options and that they won't.
What are the other?
No, but Bevo backs in people that are on a roll. No, so as in if you're out for injury and Bevo moves someone in,
out of him. Trade fucking Dunkley. I don't understand this whole concept. All right, this doesn't make sense to me. Let's say, for example, that they don't win this year. And like, let's put this on the table, right? They don't win. Who's got trade currency? Dunkley is literally the number one trade currency that they have.
Trelaw's pretty good. No, I'm kidding.
Trelaw's got no trade currency because
zero.
Because there's no way Colin will pay a two-way trade.
Chris, the same thing as last year. They don't need picks. Because they've got the second best player coming in the draft this year.
Exactly.
Maybe the third best player.
Exactly.
So they don't need picks. Last year they didn't need picks.
No, I'm not saying they need picks. They could get future picks. That's also a thing.
What they need is a key defender, and nobody's offering that.
If Dunkley gets traded, I honestly think there's a world that Dunkley gets traded this year.
They should get Tarrant.
Fuck
Richmond.
He's a free agent. No.
Or Talia. Get Talia. Even better.
Yeah, but they're not trading Dunkley for fucking Talia.
No.
Dunkley is a huge what if this year. and he's at a good price. He's not at an unattainable price, but he's a guy that can average 125 for the year
In a good role.
In a good role, in a midfield role, at any club that's not called the Western Bulldogs.
Yeah, fair.
Any fucking club. Any of them.
Well, if he was not at the Western Bulldogs, I would pick him 100%.
Like, name a club that he's not the best midfielder on that's not the Western Bulldogs.
But
Melbourne.
now he's got his best mate.
Clayton Oliver is still the best midfielder in that club.
No, I don't. No, I don't believe that.
I do.
Chris,
You know why I don't believe that? Not for Supercoach.
Clary tackles.
No.
He's got his best
Dunkley
mate there,
fucking
mate.
tackles. No.
Swizz, what's that? Sorry.
Dunkley's a better forward.
Swizz, what's that?
I said he's got his best mate now at the Bulldogs.
Have you not seen Clary kick 4 goals in
Adam
a game
Shaw?
against Adelaide? I don't think I've seen Dunkley kick 4 goals, have I?
Yeah, well, that
Yeah.
too.
Hey.
All I'm saying is this. If Dunkley gets traded, he's a guaranteed lock.
Swizz.
Are you fucking if Dunkley gets fucking traded, he's a guaranteed lock. And I'll fucking make more noise about it if you don't want to fucking Guaranteed lock.
If he gets traded, yes.
Jaden Short. Swizz.
Oh, yes, go Swizz.
I didn't this year, and I was regretting watching him just smash. But
When?
he is maybe the number one lock in Supercoach next year, because we've always said it. Basher goes, get on Jaden Short. 528, you can't go wrong. He is just and especially if, well, hopefully we still do all right next year. But if we play anywhere like we did the second half of the year, he's just going to see so much ball in the back line. He's going to go nuts. I'll actually put it out there now this year. Jaden Short goes 110 next year. Number 2 defender, because Jake Lloyd will just fucking carve up. He'll be the number 2 defender next year.
Jaden Short is also a yes for me.
Completely underpriced, right?
Yeah. And I think with Hooley gone, and there's no more Hooley.
Hula. Yeah.
I'm on the short train. I mean, it's a long train, but it's short.
I'm also on the short train. All right. We talked about Zach Butters a little bit. Matt Rowell.
Swizz. Yes. Swizz, yes or no? Yes. As an injury-free preseason, Swizz, yes or no?
With an injury pre-season, hell no.
No, injury-free preseason.
Injury-free.
Matty Rowell.
Average 63.
His price is 338, boys.
338 for a guy that's played only 12 games still. I'm actually a no.
Oh, fuck up, Swizz. It's a yes every day of the week. For 338K, a guy with a 170 plus potential, 338. I don't even give a fuck if I have to trade him out, because I'll just trade him to another premium. Rao for 338. If he shows any glimpse in the preseason, I am jumping on him so hard, so hot, so heavy. You would think I'm a ranger.
They've got so many. They've got so many midfielders.
Nah, Anderson can go inside, outside. Anderson will be more outside. It will be the Took and Rao show next year.
Greenwood did it. Greenwood barely played.
Greenwood will be the tackling machine to try and free up Rowley and Took.
Here's what's
I don't know, but for 330, I would take him for 330 more than I would take a lot of other people for 330. That risk is actually worth it if he is injury free.
Matt good enough. He's good enough.
And it's third year. I know he's only played 12, but third year.
What, if I have 330k left over, I'm fucking.
It's going to be hard though. I'd pay an extra 120,000 over.
People are paying 500k for Rao this year.
But 200,000 for who? Who's 200,000? Yes, Wiz.
Ben, how did that work out? Paying friggin' 500,000 this year for Rao, like so many people.
I didn't pay. No, I ain't paying.
I mean, look, I didn't do it.
I'm not paying 500 for Rao this year, but for 330, if he looks promising and if he looks fit and his shoulder looks strong,
he would have to. If he dominated the preseason game, then it's like, okay.
If he looked like he had the role, if he had the role for 330, I'm picking him and I'm riding that train. It's kind of the it's the new generation coming through, boys. Whether we like it or not, old school, new generation starting to kick some fucking ass because the game's changing.
It is changing.
So Walsh and Rao would look great.
I'm loving that we're having these big debates about these characters that actually could break out.
Have you got Matt Crouch in here, Chris?
We'll get there eventually, mate.
Bullshit. I don't see him.
It's actually, he's in here somewhere.
No, he's not?
No, Matt Crouch.
Oh, okay. Fair call.
Jeremy Howe.
No.
No, let's talk about fucking Matt Crouch.
Well, fuck. Okay. Well, he's not going anywhere because he just re-signed, right?
Resigned or re-signed?
So he's taking what, Ben Keys minutes? So if you think you're gonna have Ben Keys, then no. What's happening there with Matt Crouch? Would you touch him again? Because I'm not confident.
I think
I've got a soft
what's his
spot.
price?
He led me. He's 476, but
Nah, not good enough.
I'm not touching him.
It's not good enough. It's just not good enough price.
Well, like I know junk generally bunches up when you crouch, but I'm still a no on that touch.
Jeremy Howe.
Jeremy Howe. No, what's your price? Here we go.
Price
422.
No.
Yeah. No.
No, 422.
No.
At 422, you're not even touching him.
Even some of the best intercept defenders this year weren't that great.
Fair cool.
Yeah.
I'm a no.
Lipinski.
If he moves, you mean? If he moves close,
where's he going?
He's gone.
He's going to Collingwood.
Oh, how much?
Now, where does he play?
Where is he?
Mid forward?
Well, surely he plays Sterling's role, doesn't he? Sai was listed today.
Oh, well, there's no way that Sai was ever going to get fucking done. Honestly.
I've been pretty big on Lipinski for the last 2 years.
No,
he's shown like Dunkley potential.
Okay, so
he's like a Dunkley Jr. He's DJ.
No Collingwood bias because I think everyone knows he's coming to Collingwood. Lipinski is a great inside midfielder that plays forward because he has to.
Yep.
All right? So
he's DJ. He's Dunkley Jr. I think he's got great potential.
Absolutely agree
Good
with
potential.
You. So what role he plays at Collingwood is going to play a huge part in this. And we don't know that yet.
Who's inside? Adams, DeGoey, and Lipinski? Who else?
Lipinski's a no boy.
The new boy.
Because simple as he's 20k dearer than Rao.
Oh,
That's
Rao over Lipinski for sure. Swizz, stop bringing logic to this, mate. We're fantasizing over here.
And so from a Collingwood perspective, you've also got to take into the fact that you've got Finlay McRae that you want to get games into. You've got Reef McInnes that you want to get
new draft
games
pick
into. You've got Nick Dacos you want to get games into.
Dacos will be playing.
Dude, there is no way that Nick Dacos gets drafted and does not play day one. I will guarantee that for sure.
So you're saying he's centre square first bounce of the season, Chris,
yes.
like he did with Rao?
Yes, absolutely.
Swizz, do you want in on that?
He might be wing. But I'm
No. You're talking about centre bounce.
Okay, so if you want to be honest with... I'll be honest with you. If you're a marketing person and the company comes up to you and says, hey, we really want Nick Dacos to be in the first centre bounce, what does the coach say?
It'll be, you know what, Collingwood's lineup first bounce will be Dacos, centre, Adams, other wing Dacos. Both Dacos will line up on both
fucking
wings.
chance. No, the other Dacos might be on the wing, but you're right.
Both Dacos will be on the wings.
Look,
is DJ centre or is he on the wing?
I will say, and this is my next
Swizz, you're missing an opportunity to bet this at the moment.
Finn McRae, I tell you what, blew me fucking away in the second half of the season with his disposal, and the more time he has on the ground, the more he's going to be amazing. He is going to be a very, very cheap rookie next year, but it's not going to be basement price.
Not cheap enough.
He's going to be 200/203, 210, 215K, somewhere around that price. And honestly, I think it might be worth it.
It's not.
Swizz, it's Finn McRae.
Have you not heard what we've been talking about all night?
Finn McRae? No.
Yes.
Oh, no, I know you hate him.
No. There's no hate here, Chris.
No, I think
it's literally the midfield is already premiums, rookies with some expensive rookies, and maybe a Rao. You're talking about paying probably less than 100,000 difference, and you're talking about going Finlay fucking McRae over Rao for less than 100,000. It's bullshit, right? People out there deserve better. You need to have a good hard long fucking look at yourself.
Finn McRae is going to be a fucking...
Yeah, sure. In
Supercoach
2024, for sure. Then come at me then. At this point in time, though, DJ, the new day cost, starting centre square, I would pay 50 on that for sure.
So, now what happens if Finn McRae is 220 and, say, Nick Dacos is 210?
Then you take Nick Dacos because one's an actual footballer. Yeah, hello.
Okay.
Hello. One's got
we get it, all right?
One's got footy running through his veins.
Okay. Oh.
One's got footy running through his veins, and the other one's got a Big Brother. Mate, this ain't fucking reality TV show. Get Big Brother the fuck out of here.
All right, so let's take these two guys, and we're going to take these guys at the same time.
Chris is like, let's call that a draw and move on.
Jordan Clark and Charlie Constable.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good gear.
Well, are we playing VFL?
Constable's moving. Constable's moving, yeah. Constable's moving.
Swizz, have another fucking rum and shut the fuck up, all right?
Excuse me, it's Fiji rum. It's Fiji time, mate. Sorry, right, you take your time. Chris, you're getting awfully aggressive on my $40 fucking Facebook marketplace desk, all right? This desk is worth...
I'll have to apologise, first of all, to Ben.
This desk is worth...
Second of all, to his fucking wife.
And child. Amazing. Don't forget my child, Chris. How dare you?
Thirdly, I was never going to forget the
Why
child.
are you lingering your hands? This isn't Talladega Nights, right? The race went good. It went really good. This desk is worth 10% of everything standing on top of it. That's the awkward part.
That's what she said.
Oh man. Okay.
Wow,
where are we at?
I don't know about these guys, but I'm fucking drunk.
Yeah, I know you are, Chris. We've been here for an hour and 55 minutes. So we all know you're
Jordan
drunk.
Clark versus Charlie Constable. Let's go.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so Constable is changing clubs, yes? On your logic?
No, here's what I think. He
has to be changing clubs if you're bringing him into this argument.
I only think Charlie Constable is valid if he changes clubs.
Thank you.
I do think he does. I also think that Jordan Clark changes clubs.
So do I. I think Constable is more relevant.
Even if Jordan Clark doesn't, here's my issue. If Jordan Clark doesn't change clubs, it must be on a guarantee from Geelong that he will be playing midfield. There is no other reason, in my opinion, that Jordan Clark makes the decision to stay with Geelong. How is that a thing? Like, tell me how that's a thing. Like, any Geelong fan,
Well, it looks like Narkle's now going to stay at Geelong.
Yeah, but cool. That's what I mean. This is what I mean. So Narkle's there, Danger's there, Higgins is still there, fucking all of the fucking normal guys are there. Like, there's no one leaving. You've got fucking Jordan Clark over here, and you've got fucking Charlie Constable.
We better put a cursory on this and a slur register.
Probably. But I just get upset.
You skipped over Dylan Stevens, PS.
No, I haven't. I have that on. Okay, so this is so Dylan Stevens actually signed a new contract tonight with Sydney.
No.
No, he did.
No, I mean, no, as in a pass. For me,
no, I don't think he's
I think Constable's more relevant because he can get inside ball. If he changes club and gets the right role that he's been missing, then he is relevant. I do think that the other fellow, let's say that fella from down under, and quoting Biden, who's the other one? Geelong player.
Fella from down under.
No, that was yesterday. Joe Biden called our Prime Minister that fella from down under. Thank you, pal. Yeah. Mate, you got to get up to world dates, mate.
Sorry, bro.
It's not Tinder. It's actually worldly news.
If you're not on my Tinder profile, you don't know who I am.
Anyway, so basically saying the way, Jordan Clark is the other one.
Any lass that's out there that
Chris,
actually likes.
This is not a shout out to
the
ladies.
Feel like it is. You kind of led me there, and I was like,
it is not there. People aren't here to try and hook you up with females. Okay, now if anyone's out there, if anyone's going to hook,
separate episode after this.
Yeah, exactly. If anyone's
that's next week, so we play like Love Island or whatever.
Actually, no. This is a good tester. We're going to test the community.
My mate was on one of those shows. Shout out to him, Jay. Good bloke.
Was he on like Love Island?
Something like that. He didn't make a fucking big appearance, but he got his cameo.
So his appearance was premature, is what you said. Yeah. And shout out to all those playing Pokemon Go out there, keeping the traditions real.
I love when Ben claims that he played Pokemon Go when he didn't, because all he really did was fucking change his GPS location all around the world.
I
He
cheat.
cheated like
Of course I cheat.
He was like, oh yeah.
Of course
I'm
I
in South
cheat.
Africa. Oh, I'm gonna catch this Pokemon.
How am I? What's wrong with cheating, mate? Okay, literally. Level 43 from cheating.
I'm sure it's real great.
235879356935.
Yeah,
there you go.
Great. Yeah,
mate. Yeah.
Moving on.
Who plays games without
Jai
cheating?
Caldwell. What
Wait,
the
why?
fuck is happening with Essendon midfield next year?
Why are you
Does
yelling?
Jai Caldwell even get a look in?
Why are you yelling?
Why am I?
It's like you have to take charge. You're not a police officer.
No, I just want to see you. Swizz.
Swizz, balance.
tell me
Please,
what's that.
Swizz, balance us out. Please, balance us out.
He should play midfield because he's a natural midfielder, but they've got so many of it now because they brought in Shield to play midfield, Devon Smith to play midfield. I don't know how they're nearly more stacked than the fucking Bulldogs. They're just not as good.
Well, imagine if Dunkley went to Essendon.
Oh,
Cool ball. What concerns me is he did
they might have won an extra final,
He did 2 hamstrings.
which is any final.
Essendon haven't won a final. Actually, I blame Joe Danaher for bringing that Essendon final logic to Brisbane.
It's not underrated. It's just rated.
Yeah, right. No, cool ball is interesting,
okay,
but
one to watch, right?
he's one to watch. Particularly for draft leagues, I'm on him.
Jackson fucking Haitley.
Hately's not even. He's not even best 22. He moved clubs thinking he was all that, and he's shit. And now Matt Crouch coming back in. How do you see Hately actually getting a gig?
I don't.
No. So why is he on your list? Move on.
No, here's where I think that Adelaide should be, and they're not. Is that they should be the point where their fucking veteran midfielders are moving to other positions, like Rory Sloane. And this
Meg.
This should be a opportunity for guys.
Hey, Junior.
For Jackson Haitley should be their best in their best form.
And there seems to be no sign of intelligent life.
I get what you're saying, but I just think
Hately's shit. Don't
if he's
even.
not there, he's never going to be ever.
Why have you got the biggest, most long-winded list of irrelevant people in the fucking world? You've had some bangers.
Dan Hanbury, shut the fuck up.
You've had some bangers, but fuck me,
Dan
Chris.
Hanbury.
It's an hour. No, 2
Wait,
hours.
Tell me about
2 hours. You have made this.
Tell me about Dan Hanbury.
Well, wonderful. He's injury prone. He just signed a club for low money because he still wants to be part of a team.
Swizz, tell me about Dan Hanbury.
Poor Swizz. How dare you?
Dan Hanbury.
Yeah. Am I fucking right? At least your next one's relevant.
He's not. It's not as bad as it could be, but what's he going to play? 3 games for the year?
Maybe 4. I'm arguing 4.
That's shit. Move on, please, to something relevant. Oh, wait. Cameron Rayner.
Cameron's Sprainer.
The sprainer himself often.
Oi, what are we doing with Sprainer this year? What is...
So
here's the thing. Does he come back and does he play that forward 90% role that he's been playing? Or does he play
they were talking about
60-40
him
mid?
playing midfield, mate.
No,
that's what they were
that's what I mean.
priming him into.
This is why he could be the biggest bugger of the year.
Could be, except for the fact I don't like picking people off an ACL because they've done an ACL. That's general business. He
was so close to being the biggest lock of the year.
Nearly.
And then Lockie Neal decided to say.
Well, but this is what I mean.
Hang on. Rayner,
what's his price now?
Rayner showed. I don't know, Chris. Do some research. The Rayner is.
Tell me, fucking. I want to know Sprainer's price, and I want to know it right now.
Stop yelling, Chris. See, Binger is even saying it.
275, mate.
Hang on.
275.
SC Elites just released a podcast. Bullshit. How dare?
That's why they didn't answer their fucking call.
How dare he? You know what? We're going to try and call him back.
Fucking Corey.
We're going to try and call him back.
That would be hilarious if he comes back.
No way. Surely not. It's 10:53.
No, he'll be up. He'll be up. He'll be up. He'll be playing fucking NBA. I guarantee you.
How dare he?
I'm playing games with him at this point.
See,
9 times out of 10.
Even Binger's saying, stop yelling, Chris. You know there's some logic in it when Bingers bring a new logic.
Thank you for calling Corey from Metricon Homes.
Is he a builder?
Please leave your name and number, and I'll give you a call. Thank you.
Yo. 1, 2. Mic check. We recording? Yeah, let's go.
You just fucked that up so bad.
Nah, it's okay. He doesn't even like
Hey, Swizz, say something to Corey from SC Elites, please. Hey, no. Come on. That was Swizz. That was like the Tom Phillips of all comments. All right, we'll just.
All right.
Good day.
Let's move it on to
Oh,
the...
no, he can't comment. That's why. Because he gets put on mute when I called the two. Swizz, you there?
It's like, oh.
Swizz, did I just cut you off? Hello, Swizz? Put on hold. I
Come
put
back
you on
to
hold.
this. All right. So the next one I want to talk about, so we've gone past Sprainer, of course. We're on to Wayne Miller. Now,
Swizz hung up. Wayne Miller.
I don't even know what to say about Wayne Miller.
Wayne Miller. All right. He's listening. All right, we're good.
Swizz, give us your Wayne Miller 2022 prediction.
What?
Oh, wow.
Rain is 275k, Chris.
No.
Yeah, I said
Wayne Miller, not Cam Rayner /
How much is Miller? Surely he's cheap.
Fuck, nobody's fucking listed him because why would you bother listing him?
Fuck off. Miller is a fucking good pick. Surely. He's going to be like 250, 260k.
Sandful?
Oh wow!
I think Miller is. I think Miller is underrated, but he keeps getting injured, boys. I think I'm with Swizz. I'm more weight. He's a 3-gamer upgrade for me.
A 3-gamer upgrade.
Well, as in if you've made like a shit pick, like your Clarks.
And if he goes, okay, so let's say we have an actual normal preseason, we have
I don't know.
games.
If he looks good, yeah,
90
maybe.
Plus, what are you fucking doing?
Well, if he's 90 plus,
he's going to be sub 250.
If he's 90 plus, then you get on him. Yeah, but
yeah, he's got the potential to be the MP of this year.
He does.
I completely agree with everyone here. All right, next one.
Your shit.
Braden fucking Bruce.
Yes for me.
Oh, big yes?
Yep.
Big yes?
Swizz?
Like, regardless of price?
It's not a lock, but it's definitely...
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's nearly... It's all fitness-based.
All right.
And,
same.
Pass your question. Bench, on field.
Has to be on field. It has to. Well, as in, I would love to bench him, but he's too expensive.
He's going to be low 200s.
But the only season that actually worked was when you put, say,
it's on field.
Nane Curvis on field, and you put Mills. No, the Gold Coast ruckman. Fucking
Zach Smith.
No.
Joe
Witts. And that was the only season that would have worked. Putting a $200,000 ruckman on your bench would have been the Nane Curvis and Witts era. But Bruce, he's on field or he's not on field.
I disagree because I think that this year is the biggest year that like the ruck is changing, man.
Who's spending $200,000 on a ruck bench?
I am. You know why? Because fucking Brody Grundy and Max Gorn aren't locks. Neither of them. Okay, that's another question. Another question. Swizz.
Yeah.
Is Max Gorn or Brody Gundy, either of them, an absolute lock in 2022?
No one's a lock. No. Darcy's a lock. Move on.
Okay.
Darcy's not a lock.
The reason I ask, it's an important question to ask.
Yeah, for next year. Let's go.
No, because last season, if I asked the same question, would you have said that? Yes or no?
Things change.
Absolutely, last year was Grundy gone.
When a problem comes along, you must zip it.
This is why people like Bruce have value this year, and I think the ruck segment. Shut up.
We're 2 hours, 7 minutes.
You invite me over for drinks. Oh. You say you want to have a podcast that's about fun.
We drink for an hour, we podcast for an hour.
I just feel like it's
why did I let you have a list as big as you've literally got the Chinese got the Chinese phone book for chins and you're going through each fucking one of them. Right. Swizz, help us out.
All right. I got 3 more players.
Okay.
Archie Smith. What happens with Archie Smith? No, valid. Because he will be sub 200k next year, and so it's a very valid appointment.
Archie Smith.
Yes.
Who the fuck is Archie Smith?
Ben with his lols.
Who's Archie Smith?
Ben with his lols.
Who's Archie
You know
Smith?
the funny thing about Archie Smith, he's actually requested the trade.
Yeah.
And people were like,
That's what I mean.
is he still on the list?
You talk about the Brisbane Lions player?
Yes.
He requested to go to Southport. He's not even playing. That's why I was like, who's Archie Smith? He's going to Southport. He doesn't want to play on the Brisbane Lions list anymore because he keeps playing seconds. He wants to go to like Southport or some shit. Are you saying he's relevant?
Yes, he was. You know what's going to be funny when Archie Smith gets traded to an actual contender.
Not traded. He wants to play for Southport.
Beats Brisbane in the finals again.
Archie Smith.
I would laugh.
Archie Smith news.
I
Literally,
will
let's have a
laugh.
look. Archie Smith. Brisbane Ruckman requested trade 3 days ago.
Yes. I assumed that meant he wanted to be like actually in a team with being valid.
He wants to move.
That's my bad.
A fresh start for like Southport.
All right, I got two more rookies that are valuable. Fisher Mackesy, what's happening with him?
Who?
Don't even know me. Swizz, Fisher Mackesy.
Fisher McAfee, but he's meant to play freaking key defender like Alex Keith. I think he can take it into step mark. But, yeah, mate, no, I don't like it.
All right. Keep an eye on it. All right.
Oh,
man. One
Please
last
tell
one.
me you
My
finished.
one last one.
Please tell me you finished.
I
with
think
the
is a
one.
lock. This is the biggest lock of the year.
How have you missed someone?
Elijah Hollins will be a fucking basement fucking price next year. And there is no way you can not fucking have.
As in
Elijah
basement, like
Hollins.
120s or?
I'm really disappointed, Chris, because Hollins is a lock, but I thought you were going to finish off with a bang for that last one.
Oh, Bailey Smith? Where's Bailey Smith?
I was like, where is Stephen Canelio?
Oh,
he's cheap.
No,
Bailey
he will be
Smith's breakout. What is this half-ass shit that you
I
brought?
actually really beg for a team other than the Giants to fucking have Stephen Canelio because I actually think Stephen Canelio has the potential to win a Brownlow.
Oh, Will Gould, 1 year extension. What about Will fucking Gould? Is he going to play, boys? See, Tenacious is hanging on, listening through all your shit.
I respect you, Tenacious.
Mate, bringing in the gold.
Oh my God, that's not going to happen. I love Stephen Canelio. I just don't love him in the Giants. I just don't think that that's a good recipe.
This is all going to be distorted, hey. Even Binger said twice, stop yelling, Chris. This must be distorted. It's not normal level.
Hey, look,
that annoys me.
But we're also not sorry.
It annoys me because I'm going to have to fucking try and edit this shit.
You know, I feel like I'm
2 hours.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's too late now to say sorry.
Oh, a bit of Bieber. I love it. I respect that.
But I'm
now we're through. We're through that. We're through the. So I want to see. Give me So each guy here, I want to give 3 preseason locks.
Oh, Chris,
Swizz, you start.
I think we're beyond that.
I'll go last. 3 preseason locks.
Wow, Jaden Short.
Yep.
Jake Lloyd. And Dacos.
Nick Dacos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I respect that. Ben, give me your 3 preseason locks.
Lloyd, Lockie Neal, Duncan.
Mitch Duncan?
Yeah, why not?
That's a fucking shit. I
was gonna say like 5. I'm trying to spread. I'm trying to spread it a little bit. It depends. If English is number 1 rock, English is high on my list.
Got you on my high horse for a living.
I was gonna say Bruce. I was trying to mix it up. Didn't work.
No, you do you.
Yeah, defender forward, like defender mid forward.
Hey, you do you. No one's judging over here. 3 absolute locks. Jackson McRae is the easiest lock of locks there's ever been in my entire existence. Forward line, Nat Fife will never leave my forward line. And I would say defense, I agree with both of you guys that Jake Lloyd is never coming out of my side. So those threes will be there.
Okay, what would you like to see changed from the game, Swizz?
Oh,
One thing.
so
Let's
much to say
finish
about
up. Let's finish up. No, you do not have so much to say. You do not. It's 2:15, Chris.
Yeah.
Wrap it the fuck up. It's 11 p.m., my man. All right, I got. No, I'd like to say so much to do, but it's not. Swizz, if there's one thing you would like to change from Supercoach, what is it?
Well, it was one of the things we wanted. A lot of my things are to do with more the keeper leagues, but I know there was a couple of things we were complaining about this year. Oh, fuck. You could have a whole podcast and shit I'd like to change. What's one thing in particular? A lot of it, I guess, the flexibility around trades.
Yeah.
I think there's more that they could do in regard to that space. Now, what the actual answer is, and I know a lot of people complain like, oh, if you had unlimited trades or, you like do it like for 2 a week like fantasy does and that, it changes the game. Well, it changes the game for everyone and that is just a different kind of strategy. So I think trading is the best part of the game. So I like the idea of having the ability to have trades every week.
I agree. That's not necessarily
my opinion is I would love to have a floating bench. Now, what that means is I'd like to see you can pick any position on the bench that you like, and you can make it. If you want to have more defender rookies, if you want to have more midfielder rookies, if you want to have more forward rookies or ruck rookies, etc., that's your choice. Now, I'd like to see a floating bench where it's up to you how you cover your team, and if you don't have coverage, then so what? Go fuck yourself. I think that actually provides a lot of flexibility because you might not want a ruck 3, but you might actually want to have someone that you can push into there. There's a whole range of flexibility I think that actually brings to SC.
I completely agree with you. I actually think that the bench or the whole bench system needs to be completely revamped. And I think that anyone that seriously plays Supercoach would also agree with that. My changes, however, are very fucking left field. First of all, I want to reduce the amount of players on the field because 22 players do not play on an AFL field. So why are they playing in Supercoach? Let's reduce it to 18. So that's the first thing that I would do. Let's reduce the amount of ruckman to 1 because not many people play a pure ruckman in a first spot. If you want to have a secondary spot for a ruck in the forward line, then maybe that's something we could look at. I would also like to, as a non all Australian person, loving person, have wing as an actual spot on the field. So maybe change the actual positions of players and players you can trade in to actual positions that they play on the fucking field. Now, secondary to that, they should also change during the season. And I know that you can't necessarily change the entire position of someone because let's say they were playing forward and now they're playing defense. You can't start the season with that person and then all of a sudden they're a defender and you can only use them as a defender. That's not a thing. So there needs to be some sort of a little bit of waxing between players that start that were thought as a forward, then they started playing defense, or start as a midfielder, now they're playing as defense, or whatever that may be. I know that happens over AFL Fantasy, and I would just like to see that over Supercoach personally. The other thing I would like to see, like you also previously said, that's not a word. I previously said the bench should be a priority listing. So let's say that all my systems work in place. You've got 2 extra positions. You've got a winger. You've also got a forward ruck or a forward. I really like the idea that there is a forward ruck position on the field. You've got 6 defenders. You've got with not much flexibility because the best defender scoring will always end up as the best 6. You've got midfielders that when necessarily forwards or defenders or whatever, the best 8 midfielders will generally be the best people you end up with. The 2 rucks are going to be the best 2 rucks because there's not many rucks. But when you hit the forward line, all of a sudden you got all these options because the forward line is where things get a bit tricky because there's forwards that play midfield, there's forwards that play ruck, there's whatever. I would really like to see a little bit of division there. That's just my personal opinion. The wingers really need a specific role, and there's
Today, Junior!
Shut the fuck up. But there's a serious need for an actual wing role in Supercoach, and I prove me wrong.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind that.
Wow, what a short, prompt response, Swizz. Fuck me, Chris. Oh, the most long-winded. I'm falling asleep. Right, you are going on a tangent down to nowhere. Can I just say, SC Elites has said Chris is watching a movie with his boss. I don't know if it's like Peking Duck 4000, but Corey said he's busy, so there you go. Look, it's an interesting one for me. I think next year is going to be interesting. The one thing I do know is SC Supercoach in general is actually looking to make some changes and are quite open to feedback from the public. So let's see if for once they actually listen to the people and actually start to make some change. So I think that's going to be the big thing going forward. But I think it's going to be interesting. We will do our Supercoach season starting fresh from the new year, looking at our team-by-team analysis as we always do. That's probably our best content of the year. This, I think we could say, is safe to say we should not drink an hour before and actually during the podcast taking on this guy, and also reasons to see why I should take the most lead on things. Now, as Tenacious has said, Chris, what you've said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I've ever heard. At no point in your rambling...
And I respect you. I respect you.
At no point in your incoherent rambling did you even make anything close to considering a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having heard what you've said and listened to it. So there you go. Chris, you're still on mute, mate. You cannot touch the buttons. You had a choice and you chose wrong. Look, let's just... Hey, boys, come on. Seriously, thank you very much, though, to Swizz joining us this year. Swizz, I'm sorry you have had to pay tribute. At least you don't have to sit next to this fucking guy and try and actually mute him and literally treat him like a child that he is. Thank you. My nostrils are itchy. Now, preseason.
Can I get a thank you and give?
Chris, you can get a shut the fuck up.
Just want to say my little
man,
bit.
This literally would have been an hour podcast.
It would have been if I was.
If you didn't have.
Would you have a podcast if I wasn't here,
mate? Your list was literally written in Scribe. It was that fucking long and hard to literally decipher.
Is that so you could finger it? Or I'm not sure.
Swizz, thank you very much for your input this year, mate. You have been a revolution. You have actually probably been our rising star in the SC Elites. Chris has probably been our fallen premium.
We are not the SC Elites.
SC Insider. Chris is definitely the fallen premium, and I am the Jackson McRae of all, keeping things nice and steady and consistent in the face of adversity, like going to Tasmania and dealing with all kinds of things, aka Chris and his drunkenness. So that's it. Look, that wraps us up for this year. For this week, enjoy the grand final. Melbourne, have at your boy. Doggies for some, unfortunately. Look, I'm going for Melbourne, so let's just see what eventuates. Let's see what happens for the Brownlow. Swizz will try and upload you a little bit more next year, and we'll get you on for our preseason analysis, because I honestly think that's where we do our best work. Draft relevance, preseason analysis, looking for those undervalued players, which I know so many people actually tune in for, and that's us.
That is.
Sounds good.
Swizz. just on the buy. Can you fuck this guy, Ben? He literally just spent 20 seconds going like, oh, I'm so amazing. I'm so awesome.
There's no amazing component. Chris, you need to get muted more often. There's structure. There's composure. There's me having drinks and actually being able to keep it together and try and do a podcast. So lucky we're not getting paid for this, because otherwise Chris would have his pay actually revoked for this lesson or this week. So Swizz, mate, thanks for joining us. I wish you all the best in the lockdown. Everyone else in the lockdown, New South Wales to Victoria and everywhere else where it is actually creeping up on us. May you please keep your mental health and physical health well-being and up to date, and get vaccinated if you can. Swizz.
Thanks, boys. I've had an absolute ball jumping on and chatting footy with you guys.
Chris, do you want to talk on my mic?
I love you all.
Okay, that's Chris done. Swizz, thanks for joining us. Chris is muted, and that'll do us. Thank you very much.
Cheers, boys.
Thank you. Bye.
That was a funny end.
I like it when you joke.